I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my bones as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Rock bottom make the man and some pressure make a gemstone. Trying to put $1 to my name like Creflo. Niger boy, late to the game, it's in the blood flow. And I'm from the south, it's thick skin and tough bone. Big attitude through big lips with gusto. Trust no kings, that's why they tried to crush souls. But it's IGBO, when the dust blow, this old head be standing there. No silver, just gold. Crack no books on the hustle, I was born to grind. Yo, scared of your potential, I'm adorned with mine. 30 times around the sun, man, of course I shine. My legacy will not dwarf with time. And in my daughter's eyes, it's basic, I must not say quit. Every day sees a present like a Rob St. Nick. Walk a fine line between tenacious and patient. I can't slip, I'm fighting clocks and they can't win.
I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my wounds as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
Impeccably I flow, hardest raps you know, breaking status quo, reaping what I sow, artistry like Van Gogh. Get it from my mama, hip so thick that I need tempo. Personality spicy, body banging like a bongo. Cause black women been it since Timbuktu since Pharaoh. Sponge rollers and hot combs, lips, cheeks and brow bones. If you ain't for the culture then please stay out of my zone. These little dummy rappers could never grace my headphones. See I'm from a place in space where ain't no storytelling, you just had to have been there. If you want the battle, ain't no problem, say where. I got so much experience, I can't even play fair. But I'ma keep evolving and growing and hurting feelings and showing you need endurance to go in. I got mileage on this pen, I've been busy cause I've been out here schooling all these kids. Took 3 decades to have this glow up that I did.
I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Count my wounds as in desert crumbs flow. I'm gonna turn all of my stones. I've got bruised souls, cause I'm way gone, trying to find my way back home. Who that soldier in the mirror? Oh, oh. I'm gonna turn all of my stones.
know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
All right.
Allegedly!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. Here's a brief disclaimer for tonight's show. Let's watch.
That's ignorant! Allegedly, that's ignorant! Ignorant.
Judgment, Alston.
Oi, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinin.
You mean shining?
Shh, you wanna get sued?
Judgment, Alston.
You just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Hey, yo, Bob. I love it when he does that.
Let's watch.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to see everyone today. Thank you so much for being here. And I see Chuchi is here. Thank you so much, Chuchi. Yes, we are drama free. And even though it's a day show, we got to do 21 and over because, you know, you never know what we're going to talk about, even when we're just doing a chit chat. I don't have much planned for today for just to pop in and say hi to everybody. Hey, Kimberly, good to see you. Good to see Cece and Mama is here. Thank you, Mama. I wanted to just come on and talk with you guys. I've been doing a lot of research into the family of Sebastian. We'll just say Sebastian's family. Witchy Mama, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Also, Gail is here. So I heard that there was a lot of, you know, stuff popping off on YouTube last night, as usually there is, especially if you're you know kind of a thing. Hey Holly, good to see you. And also she says I'm listening from the bushes as I drive safe, Holly. Drive the kids. Yay. Definitely chat with us when you get a chance. She says I love the pop-up live streams. I love doing the live streams during the day because we get different people, nighttime I'm like keeping you guys up, or if you decide to get up or can't sleep, come on over. Hey, Jude is here and she's been here for 11 months as a member. Jude, thank you so much. Well, you're beautiful, Jude. We are doing a trivia, so I'm working on getting that together. It's going to be fun, guys. We're going to do it January 31st. Now, my trip to Tennessee, I planned that yesterday. I'm going to have to leave on Saturday and arrive Sunday because Sunday the rental place is closed. And so I won't be able to pick the car up that day, or whatever I'm driving. And then, Monday is the 23rd. So I didn't know how to kind of navigate that, but I got it reserved. I'm going to give them a call and see if they can't just, save a car since I've done it already. I just don't know how that works, if I have to actually check in or if I could do it online. I would rather do it on a Sunday. Um and not a Saturday, just because I have to drive through Atlanta, and Atlanta is a beast. Anytime you drive it, it's crazy busy. Holly, so good to see you. I like to drive overnight, so I don't have to. I could beat the traffic. And Holly, I already said hello to you, but you did a Sebastian and a Devlin. Now I see. Thank you. And guys, I have been working on the second part of the video for Devlin because there was a lot of stuff that was spouted out that was not true. So I need to fix that. I feel the need to fix that. Devlin doesn't deserve to be shamed for being a victim. He's missing. He deserves to be found. And a lot of times if people think he was just a bad kid that was running the streets, or his poor sister, I'm not going to let people do that to him. It will never happen. So I've been working on that, but I went down a few rabbit holes, so that was interesting to say the least. And Gail, good to see you, Gail. And Witchy Mama is here. Also, let's see, Stephanie Williams. Good to see you, Stephanie. And Chuchi, thank you so much for the green, blue, and purple hearts. Eagles for Zachary. I still need to have Zachary's aunt on the show. And hopefully we could do that next month. I know this month is flying by. And there's a lot going on with Sebastian Rogers' case, just talking about him. I also posted Crystal's flyer. Um, Her sister is still trying to get justice and answers for what happened to her. Um, it's just absolutely awful. But, her sister Janet won't stop, and that to me is so admirable. IML, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Also, Marie, thank you. Thank you. We have to stick up for each other. We have to stick up for what's right. And when somebody can't be here to stick up for themselves anymore, sometimes that's all you have is good friends and family to do that. And Crystal's sister is just absolutely amazing at advocacy. Hello, Ann Reynolds. Good to see you. And Anna is here. Good to see you, Anna. Hey, Tina Girl. Good to see you. I see Tina Girl. And let's see who else is here. Orb. Good to see you, Orb. Thanks so much for being here, all of you guys. I want to make sure I shouted everybody out. That's here in the very beginning. So, in Sebastian Rogers' case, we were looking at pictures of the green hoodie, or talking about the green hoodie. So we've seemed to kind of be able to confirm that the green hoodie is a woman. I think the green hoodie is a woman, and I think it's safe to say that the green hoodie is a woman. Now, if you guys think that you have another, match for green hoodie, that's cool, and definitely feel free to share it. But looking at Katie's mom, she could pass as the green hoodie. You know, she's got that crazy hair. And I'm saying that because I have curly hair. We have curly hair in my family. So I'm not trying to say that Katie's mom's hair is like crazy, but it's just very curly. And with that comes craziness. I think curly hair is awesome. But again, we need to kind of look at the people's features, their hair, everything matters. Could they be wearing a wig? Could, you know, I mean, we saw that in Melody Buzzard's case, her mom like wearing that wig all over, you know. Astrology for Mystics with Jen. Good to see you, Jen. Thank you for being here. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of waking up. I had a lot of research being done, and then I know that there was some stuff, like I said, that popped off. I wasn't involved in it because I was too busy with other stuff. Once I get, you know, onto subjects, I want to figure them out, you know. It's kind of like leaving a puzzle sit there with a couple of pieces that you don't know where they go, and then it just sits there. So it bugs me when it just sits there. So Jen, you're not kidding. So she does pass the test. Texana does pass the test. And she's also crazy enough, and she's also willing to work for Cruella de Vil. And if you guys haven't seen Chris's mom lately, she keeps getting thinner and thinner. I don't know if she's just, you know, exercising more, eating healthier, what have you, but she keeps appearing to look more and more like Cruella de Vil as she thins out. Um, or maybe it's that, like that movie Thinner. I have no idea. I have no idea. But like when I was looking at pictures of her yesterday, I couldn't believe, you know, the difference, right? It's like a full ass transformation. You could do a before and after on it. I mean, honestly. But the more skinny she looks, the more Cruella comes out. So I don't know. Interesting, right? I just kind of, you know, was perusing. Um, yeah. Yeah, well, that's what is kind of appears to happen with Katie's mom's hair, right? It's kind of like red, right? Or auburn. Some of her registration paperwork says red auburn. This one says red auburn. I think they try to keep them, and they keep up on her. They continuously update her information, right? They just keep on going with that, which is a good thing. They need to, because this person should not be around children. Period. But yes, Witchy Mama says my curly hairs turn gray and then white, and it's frizzy. It's off the charts. I know, either way, even if you have like just regular curly, um, it's that way. And especially here in Florida, like the humidity makes my hair do that too. So even if I straighten it, it's like halfway through the show, it's curling. Um, so, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of how Katie's mom's hair has come to be. Just, you know, a little bit more like, I don't want to say white, but maybe gray. And then again, you know, women, we can dye our hair or we do. So, um, the lady in the Texas Roadhouse seemed to have had that frizz factor, you know, kind of, even when her hair is pulled back or it looks shorter. I just think that maybe she would have a little bit more poof. And for those of you who have curly hair, you know, can relate to that. A little bit more of a poof, right? So they do have the same features. They do. Well, and then Chuchi was helping me with it, and it's like, you know, the jawline is different when we're looking at Katie, and her, you know, her mom even, right? Like they have the round face. I have a round face. Again, please don't, you know, take any of this as criticism, because it's just observation, and a lot of it has to do with when you're an artist, you can identify things like that. Nani McPoppins, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. I was thinking, Ozempic. No, I'm just kidding. um, bootleg, bootleg Ozempic. No, that's just funny. Yeah, I don't know. I heard there was a lot of people. So Ozempic makes you like super, super thin, I guess. I don't know. Um, I like to have a little meat on my bones. I don't want to be, easily blown away or anything. So, um, skinny is a good look on her, poor lady. Well, and I mean, it's just like very apparent that she's looking more and more like Cruella, and it's weird. I did have to, just say that. But I think she likes to be sinister. I think that's probably a compliment to her. She likes to tell people like, "I'll save you a seat in hell," mwahaha, and stuff like that. So, she's probably like, "Yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing." Hello, Gina. So good to see you. Mepsumpic. Oh my goodness. We need people to stay off of that. There's a lot of that. So I'm gonna bring you guys more info on that. So I'm thinking that the green hoodie could really be either Katie's mom, still possibly, or quite possibly Texana Fernandez, right? So either way, they would be connected to the family. Um, so I thought she looked good though. Like, I mean, when I say that she looks like Cruella was kind of, this lady that was just like, fancy and everything. And, yeah, she was crazy and stuff. But, I mean, I think she looks healthy. Um, just thinner, so I didn't think she looked bad or sick or anything. Because I wouldn't want to make fun of her if she was sick. But she just is very mean. Um, and they went on a couple of trips. We all know. They went on a couple of trips after Sebastian went missing. They went to Alaska and then they went to Costa Rica, right? And then there's also Costa Rican family by marriage on that side of the aisle. Um, and there was like a crazy person that came in named Lisbeth, and I told them to drop the E, and then I figured out that there was someone in their family named Lisbeth. So interesting. I don't know if that's the same person, but we have her blocked, so that's good. Mark Klein, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting the like button. So I think it's very important to examine everybody. And I think that's, across the board, like people who were close to everyone. Now, the thing about Seth is that he lives in Clarksville. Um, and it makes it more difficult for me to believe that it was someone from Clarksville that went all the way to Chris and Katie's house, especially when there was no one caught on camera, right? So, or someone that he may have met while he was at his dad's house, because we do have to consider all options. And I think Seth wants that done too. I think there was an investigation failure into Sebastian's case, and that's why I wanted to go back, right? I wanted to keep going back, because I think that there's just something really big that we've missed. And once we realize that we've missed it and we identify it, then the rest is going to be history, right? And I'm not talking about us here, but I'm talking about we need action. We need the police to get on it. We need the FBI to take the case over, in my opinion. That way we can have some professionals working the case, in my opinion. Also, I want Seth to be cleared so that way the Chris McDonough's foundation, the Cold Case Foundation, there we go, Trish, the Cold Case Foundation um, can come in and help, right? We need help with Sebastian's case. 2 years is too long. 2 months is too long. 2 days is too long. You know, um, Oh, Leslie, I hope you feel better. Thank you for being here. The jawline's like Johnny Bravo. That's funny, Gigi. And that's the thing, the jawline on the profile was very pronounced, right? I mean, who knows who it could be? Who knows? But I think we have a couple of likely suspects, right? Um, hey, Jackie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Green Hoodie doesn't look like Katie's mom to me. Green Hoodie even walks like Texana. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You got me with the walk, right? Because I think that's important to remember. Sorry, guys, I have dogs barking. Be good, mister. They're okay. They're just being crazy. He feels like he has to bark if they start barking. But I think that every bit of the mannerisms, the body build, every single thing needs to be considered when we're looking at a person and we're thinking, is that person the person in the video? The thing that sucks about it, and I even pulled in the videos that were put up, it appears unless I'm going to say Texana, unless the green hoodie person is continuously moving, because this person is very much like moving around. So again, you're going to get like a blurry picture, or it's going to be blurry on the still. It's going to be hard to determine who the person is. But I find it very odd that we can see everybody else's crystal clear image and not the green hoodie. But they're telling us, look at the green hoodie, look at the green hoodie. Well, we can't look at the green hoodie unless we have a crystal clear picture of who this person is. That way we can go back and we can say, okay, the nose matches, the ears, ears are very different. Everybody has unique ears, right? Everybody has a unique nose. Some people might have a bridge on their nose. I have a tiny little nose. You can't barely see it. Some people have really, really big ears. Some people have, tiny, tiny little ears. And so that matters, right? When you're identifying people. But if you don't have a good picture of them, how are we supposed to identify the green hoodie? You know? So that's difficult. Or even have a good assumption on who it is. Now, I would assume that someone like Texana would be a green hoodie candidate, for green hoodie, because of her. If you go and look at her stuff, she is an absolute nutcase, right? When I tell you guys, this lady's nutty buddy, yeah, this nutty buddy is a nutty buddy fruitcake, yeah. So when I tell you that just, should tell you guys everything that everybody else I've called a nutty buddy fruitcake up here, put them in that category, right in that category. They're labeled as a nutty buddy fruitcake. And this lady is that. She is absolutely nuts. She has tried to sue Seth Rogers. I don't know why. She has inserted herself, but then you realize why when you see Chris and his mother at court, right? Then you're like, oh, okay, a light bulb goes out. Whoa, really? Really? Why are they bringing people to court and not searching for Sebastian? Why are they bringing his father to court, who is searching for him? Why not just leave his father alone and let him do his business? I mean, it's ridiculous. Catherine, good to see you. So, yeah, Jackie, I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. She might be working out more or whatever. Like, as you get older, you think, you realize it's important to continue doing that. But Kathy has been like all different weights. You know what I mean? And I'm not bashing anybody for that. What I'm saying is that she looks completely different now than she has in the past. And then there's even older photos of her that she was. So I don't know if it's always been something that she's been working on her for herself, right? And just like, getting that workout on or something. Um, Girl mom too, so good to see you. Yeah, she does. She looks like Green Hoodie weight-wise. So, I took a picture of her full, like, I know it's terrible, full body, right? And I'm like, I need to have that. I need to have a close up. I need to have, I'm like looking, and it would be nice for a profile. It's hard to get a profile unless somebody else is taking the photo, or but it's just it's and I hate to say it, but I don't know if her identity might have been blurred out or something like that by At Night. Help me out if you guys are in the, YouTube verse today and not involved in drama. I would really like to ask some questions, you know? Because why is everybody else why can we see everybody else except for the suspect, right? And then the other person who I think had something to do at the Texas Roadhouse with everything that was going on at the Texas Roadhouse, because there was a lot. Um, the yellow jacket is wearing a mask, right? And I even went back and looked at the pictures of the gentleman that Justin had talked to that said he was that person. And it was still a no for me. Um, I keep trying to go back and look, right? I really want to figure out who these characters are. Look, I think that Sebastian's picture that Katie took, or if he took it himself, was on this guy's phone. Here it is. Right? You might have to zoom in, but it looks like Sebastian or a young man that's wearing a Yoda shirt. Sebastian was wearing a Yoda shirt, right? So, I mean, I want to know what was going on there because it seems like something was supposed to happen, but then it didn't. I can't for the life of me figure out why they would do it with all the cameras, you know, but they did. So I don't think Green Hoodie is KP's mom either. They look more like the guy who is the RSO, and I don't know who Texana is, so can't compare them. Yep, any chance of putting up a picture of that one lady? I could put up a picture of Texana for you. Yeah, I don't mind. She wants attention anyway, so yeah, we'll do that. No worries. I got what you're saying. I wanted to do a comparison video, Anna. I just didn't have time. It's like once you get down these rabbit holes, especially on Katie's side of the family, because we were talking about her mom being the green hoodie, and so I did go into a little bit of a rabbit hole there. Um, her mom was married to a I mean, I don't even want to say complete psycho. I think people who are mathematicians, right? Especially when they're manufacturing mathematician, uh, it is inevitably going to end badly, right? Like they are involved in essay of children. They are involved in essay of other people, right? They're very sexually deviant because of the drug, right? It just goes along with it. And not only that, they're freaking out of their mind. They're paranoid, they're hallucinating, they're up for days and days. It's a disgust. It is the most disgusting drug I have ever witnessed in my life, ever witnessed in my life. And I lived in Springfield, Missouri for a very long time. And when I say that the people in the town are ate up from being mathematicians, some of them, that's true. Like there's good people there too. But when I'm talking about how bad the meth problem is there, that is a whole nother issue, right? So you have people who are even higher ranking people who are using this and who are making horrible decisions and having horrible connections to other people. And this is where the connections come in. There's so much to it, right, with Sebastian Rogers' case. So you have both families who have RSOs. You have both families who have a lot of issues with the law and criminal activity. And so when you have that, you have other connections so to speak, right? You have people who will do things for cheaper for you, right? Because they want to get their next fix. So it it's not like somebody else that has morals and values and is like, I'm not killing somebody for $2,000. But there's people out there that would do it for that because they're freaking meth addicts and they're psychotic, right? But it's mostly drug induced, in my opinion. I've seen it for myself. Nani McPoppins, it's so good to see you. Not me personally, but I've seen it. I've seen regular people um, turn into freaks. Um, Nani says guilty conscience is eating away at her. Well, maybe so, but she looks like $1,000,000. I think the guilty consciences of Chris and Katie, because Chris and Katie look like, hell ran over twice. Jilly, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Ooh, I want to see the full moon in Leo video, Jen. Cool. All right, wonderful. Fantastic. Let me get this picture of hello, Cinderella. Let me get this picture of the Texana YouTubers here. Good to see you. And I will play you guys a video while you wait. I think that people need to do this more often. And it's not, just that I do it or whatever. But I'm gonna play you guys this one because this is gonna be the green hoodie guy that we think if the green hoodie's a guy, it's this guy, right? In my opinion, who's the Pred and the Foot Clan, right? And I'm gonna play you this now, so you guys know. All right, guys. So I just wanted to show you that while I was loading these pictures in. So let me remove this off the stage so that in the beginning you saw the green hoodie character. Because these are characters in my opinion. Alrighty, so we have the guy, which I think it is a female that we're dealing with, right? Just because of the build, and when they come closer to the camera, you can tell that they have, women parts. So here's the first picture of Texana, and that's her in front of a Christmas tree. But looks a lot like who this could be. And you know what? I might have had to crop that in. And then this is the other version of her standing up where you could see her, where you can actually see her body build and everything. Um, Welcome in, everyone. Girl mom thinks it's stress. Oh gosh, I can't imagine seeing somebody, one of the Foot Clan at Hobby Lobby. um, Hello, Deborah Dixon. Good to see ya. Hello, Sammy. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hold on one second. All right. Sorry, guys. That's sad about the math problem we have in the US. It's almost unheard of in the UK. Oh, I'm sorry, you're in the UK. Yeah, and it is. It is very bad. I didn't know whether, the UK had that issue or not, Anna, but it is very prevalent here because, you can make um, mathematics with under the counter, chemicals, and that's what people are choosing, and it's very disgusting. It really is. If you think about what that could do to your body. Hello, Narita. Good to see you. Hey, Blessed in Florida. Good to see you. I've often wondered if Sebastian is with Katie's mother, which is not good either, but she has such a small property and lives near Dolly, so I don't know how she would get away with having him there. I agree with that. Because yeah, I forgot about that little detail that she does live over by, a creator who um is covering Sebastian's case and, knows about his case well. So that, yeah, I mean, could you imagine running into them out in the at the grocery store? I think he said he did one time. Hey, Kiki, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Sorry I missed your call. And if I haven't texted anybody back yet, also, I just got really, really busy. Like I said, I can't see, um, I mean, I can't see everything. I can't get to everything right away. Especially if I'm researching and I'm trying to figure something out. Like I said, I just get like zoned in. Hey, Don B, good to see you. I love your videos lately. I've been watching. Um, so, I mean, Texana Deborah is the woman that just got done trying to sue Seth, right? But she lost because she's not as good as she thinks she is. And I'm sure, they're upset about that. But I do think that this person resembles Green Hoodie. And especially when you see them with shorter hair. And there's that. So I want to show you guys this as well. Now, this person is Katie's half sister, or a sister on the McClure side. Very much, and this is something that I saw on JLR, and I wanted to pull the video in, and I'm still kind of working on that video. So I want to kind of show you guys everybody. On Katie's side of the family, there's a lot of redheads, right? Katie's got red hair. A lot of her family members do as well. Um, this is a picture that was shown on May 4th, was it? Oh, 3rd. Sorry, May 3rd. And this is who JLR was, talking about that day. And it does appear that, they're very close to Katie. There's also someone else that had hurt a 15-year-old girl in the same way, being an SA'd her. So sorry if you hear Dringo getting a drink of water. He's doing his thing. And then we have these people here. So John was the victim in this situation. Larry McClure is who Frances Rosenbaum, right, Katie's mother, was married to for a time. And the two, Amanda and Anna, are his daughters. So they're not related to Katie. But this man was apparently in Katie's life at the time that she was hurt by her mother. I'm not sure, because when it's a victim 6 to 12 years of age, they're not going to, make the victim public. Unless, it's a case where we have, someone who is coming out and speaking to news outlets and putting the information out there. That's typically when we'll see that, but this was a little bit different. So Larry spent 17 years in prison for hurting a family member under the age of 12, right? The ages of 6 years old to 12 years old. He's a fucking monster. And this is who Katie's mother was married to. So none of the pictures are going to be flattering, CC. These are all pictures, of meth addicts, right? This is what meth does to your face, your skin, your hair, your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? A sick story, girl mom. This story kept me up. This story was so sick and twisted and diluted. And like I said, it just really reminded me of Missouri. Hate to say it, but that's what happens. It's not pretty. It doesn't make you better. It makes you horrible, is what it does. It turns you into a damn monster. So they do look a lot alike. They do, Kiki. I was actually surprised to see how much they looked alike. Too. So real winners, right? Exactly. I don't know if KP still talks to them. Now, these three, minus John, like I said, John in the white bandana, he is the victim, right, of these three monsters. So Larry got life. He did a full confession in a letter, said he didn't want the taxpayers to have to pay for his wrongdoings. He's a real gem. And then we have Amanda, who was one of the people who participated, and then we have Anna. So John was was the boyfriend of one of the two girls. And like I said, I'm going to get more into it. We're going to read out the whole story. I found a whole story online that I'm going to get together for you guys. But I want to tell you the short version. So John and the daughters, one of the daughters, well, both of them actually. So John and both of the daughters end up going to Larry's house. They're all going to stay there. They decide that they're going to make a new batch of math, and they're going to, get down with it. And so they start manufacturing this in his trailer, in Larry's trailer. And, it's real dirty, dingy, a whole bunch of crap all over the yard. I mean, it's a real shithole. And they, they don't give a fuck whether they blow it up or not. So that's what they decided to do. And as they're preparing this substance, they failed at it, right? It didn't crystallize, and it was a big fail. So they put this batch into jars and saved it for whatever reason. Well, we'll find out why. And so they saved it, and then they went and got some real math, right? And then they started partying. And after, a few days, Larry was taking his daughters, behind the scenes, having conversations with them, poisoning their minds, their meth minds, on against John, right? And so they decided to, do something horrible to John, right? We don't know exactly what was said or what was done, but this is just what was alleged, and also, basically said in the confession. So whenever John was comfortable, right, and they were all hanging out, he decided to make a dinner for, and it was actually Valentine's Day. He decided to make a dinner for his um, girlfriend, and during that time, Larry was like, "Let's play a trust game. You want to play a trust game?" And John's like, "Sure," because I mean, again, they're all twacked out of their brains. And so he said, "I'm going to tie you with a rope to a chair." And he's like, "Okay." And so they tie him up, and after a little bit, he's like wanting to become untied, right? And so he tries to go down and untie himself. He's bent over, sitting in a chair, bent over, trying to untie his legs, and he gets cracked with the wine bottle, and he was cracked in the head so hard with the wine bottle that it shattered, right? They broke it on his head. Poor John. And then they proceeded to torture John for about 3 or 4 days. So they injected him with 2 syringes of the bad math batch, right? And they tortured him for days on end. And finally, they ended up taking his life. They buried him in the yard. Larry was involved in a relationship, right, with the daughters. One of them ended up pregnant, which is completely disgusting. And they used the excuse that because they hadn't all grown up in the same household, or they didn't grow up with their dad, right? Because he was in prison. In my opinion, it could have been from hurting Katie, Proudfoot, that is. And he had been in prison for 17 years, right? So they just all reunited. So that was their excuse, right? That they had relations with their father. Okay. And so I think it was the meth again. you know, that's my best guess anyway. Um, and so they ended up getting paranoid, right? Because that's what that drug does. And then they dug John back up, and then they, desecrated his remains even more, and then they reburied him. Uh, so then they decide that they're all going to move to Kentucky, right? So Larry has ties to Minnesota. He has ties to West Virginia, where his camper was located, and then he also has ties to Kentucky. Right? So when he was in Kentucky, that's when he confessed to all of this. Like I said, they're all in prison, but that doesn't mean that they don't have connections somehow, some way. And we know that Katie was just fine reconnecting with her mother, Frances, who is a registered for life SO. And it's just really scary to think that there could be connections here in when it pertains to Sebastian Rogers' case. It worries me because these people know no boundaries. They don't care. They're absolutely disgusting. It's like if you thought that it was bad, think think it's worse, because it's so bad that it opens up a lot of possibilities to horrible characters that could be um, involved in Sebastian's disappearance. You know, um, it's bad at IML. It's horrible. Um, I mean, bad stock, really bad, Holly. And I mean, just because somebody is in prison doesn't mean that they don't know people on the outside and that sort of thing. What brought him back to Kentucky, I'm not sure, but Kentucky is right next to Tennessee, right? So yeah, this is Katie's family. Thanks, Jude. Yeah. She was born into a true crime story. Yeah. I mean, imagine what kind of a man would be with Francis, And I guess I should have thought of that a little bit more. I know that JLR put all of this out, right? He was the one that put all of this information out, not the private eyes. It was JLR. He was actually exposing the Proudfoot family left and right at this time, and then also the Rosenbaum Katie clan, right? I remember when Yada was talking with Bill Hornbetti, and everyone's like, "Oh, we don't want to talk about Katie's abuse." And I get that, it doesn't make me feel happy, it doesn't make me feel good, it grosses me out, it's horrible. I think of how it must have been for a little girl, like, when Katie was little, to have dealt with this, and I feel bad, but we cannot let our guilt for or feeling bad, or pity on someone else stop us from trying to find Sebastian. And I think, and I'm not saying that's what Betty did, but I'm just saying I think that we were all guilted into not talking about it because of the severity of what happened to her. And I think that we're doing Sebastian a disservice not understanding the pedos and the weirdos and the horrible people that are in his family. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of heads up. Now, there's been multiple about what we're going to be talking about tonight. There have been multiple YouTubers that have covered this case of Larry, Amanda, and Anna, and John being the victim. And only one commenter, only one person commented on the video and said, "This is Katie Proudfoot's, family. This is Katie Proudfoot's mother, Francis's husband, at the time that Katie was hurt by her mother." And Sebastian Rogers is missing, the person said in the post. But that's the only one person made this connection, right? And told the true crimer, or, true crime YouTube person, "Hey, there's a little boy missing that, has connections to this situation, per his mother, right? Who all of a sudden, I don't know what happened to my son. I don't know where he could be. Maybe he's in a basement somewhere. Maybe he was trafficked. Maybe you should check the dark web," she says. Yeah. Well, Katie, I guess we should go dark, shouldn't we? Because that shit's dark. Yeah, the genetic part of psychology is scary. And even scarier, hey Jude, when somebody is terrorized like that as a child, they do develop defense mechanisms in order to survive, right? And some of them are not good. We see that in Devlin Tate's case. We see that with his mother as well, his biological mother. We see that there are major issues, and in his family, it's the same thing. Registered sex offenders galore. Women, men, you name it. That's a problem. And then all of a sudden, poof, that's going to make me look at the family. I mean, just flat out. Right? But then Chris Proudfoot was really, really mad that this information got out, and he had a call with let's see here, Heather Cohen, not the one we just played, but another one, and he was very upset about this information getting out. And I know I've played it. It was back when I was just making videos. And Josh at the lab put this out. And it was eye-opening, right? And again, it did make me shy away because I was like, this is terrible for Katie, right? I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. So why should we, you know, add insult to injury? But I think it's important now that he's been missing for 2 years and that Katie has shown herself to be just as sick as her family. Right? She's going on interviews, acting up. She's acting like it's no big deal, like it's just perfectly all right. And it's really not. Um in my opinion. So, let me take a look. I don't see. I thought I just played it. Maybe it is on the Polished Turds story. I know it was before that. I need to get a playlist together so that way we can have info in one spot. So I don't have to find it, but I'll have to probably pull it into the other video for tonight, unfortunately, if I can't find it. Either way, I think it's important for us to remember that this happened and that this was made into a bigger deal than, it needed to be. But why was Chris so upset with this information coming out, but he doesn't seem like it bothers him for Katie's well-being or her mental state, or that she was going through a lot and it's not fair to her, right? It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that at all. And as a matter of fact, he chose to threaten the PI who was helping to look for his son, and didn't threaten Chris, or Chris didn't threaten JLR, who put out all of this information. I mean, every single bit of it. Holly says, I never understood why she was okay with having a relationship with her mother again, not to mention taking her son around her. And I feel like sexual abuse might be normalized in that family, in my opinion. I think so too, Holly. And it definitely is in Devlin's family. I know that for a fact because I've been told that it's all right. And even though Matt has done what he's done, and, Lorraine's done what she's done, it's okay. And even, Devlin's adoptive father, Bill Tate, was also looked into for that very subject, right? So it's interesting. Yeah, exactly, Holly. Remember in the case of the lady getting the baby cut out of her stomach, it was over $2,000, right? And then faces of meth, faces of math, sorry. It's crazy. Thank you. She spent 7 months in our country, or in our county jail, and I'm so grateful because the officers really care. She even thanked the detective for arresting her and saving her life. He was speechless. Who's that, Linda Hall? Did I miss something, hon? I might have missed something. Hey, Nancy Fleming. Sorry, guys, I'm just going up. Well, darn, I must have missed that. Yeah, I think it's important. Hey, little Miss Sharon, to recognize all of these people, that are doing these horrible things. Okay, I must have missed that. I'm so sorry, Linda. Hey, Liberty, good to see ya. Hey, Trishy, cyber secure business partner. Oh, what an awesome party there. Is that Katie on the right? I had her up. This is Katie. This is Katie over here on the left of her mom. Her mom's on the right, in this picture. But I also had the other people up here too, so I'm not sure. This is just all not related to Katie, a stepfather of hers, a mother's husband. And it's been alleged by JLR that this person is Katie's sister, half sister, that is. But I'm not 100% sure. Um, I'm still kind of looking up to see who all of these people are and where they fit into the puzzle. And that's what I've been doing the last couple days. So I kind of got, hey, Eric with an H. Okay, good. That's who I thought you were. I was like, okay, I don't remember this name. Hey, Lolo, good to see you. So very interesting stuff here. And I think it's worth looking into. I really do. And do I think that law enforcement has looked into it? No, I don't. I don't. Because they called Sebastian in as a runaway, and they've treated him like a runaway. And the only time we've ever seen anyone say that Sebastian could be kidnapped in law enforcement is right here on his missing flyer by the FBI. right? Kidnapped. I agree, but it still needs to be talked about because it shows a pattern of behavior. Exactly, Tina girl. And everybody, had to feel bad about it. And, even Yeda's like, well, I'm not going to discuss it. Well, that's your family, though. And that's the problem with it. It is normalized, as Holly was saying. It's normalized, and then people are guilted into not talking about it. And it doesn't help anybody, right? That's how they get away with it. The fear, the guilt. And if anybody should feel guilty, it's the people that have done these things to these, children. And, it absolutely matters. It absolutely matters. And again, if I thought it was because Katie, um, or Chris was sticking up for Katie because of her having a hard time with it, I might think a little bit different, but we can tell from the audio that that's not true. Right? Because he goes, she's crying in the background. She's like, it was horrible. It was horrible. And he's like, I got to go to work. So, yeah, I'm done yelling at you. I'm done transferring my negative energy onto you. So, I'm going to go now. It wasn't about Katie or her feelings. So why should it be about Katie or her feelings now, especially when Sebastian's been missing for 2 years? I always thought it was odd that she says she doesn't check on Sebastian because he could be doing something, like she was implying something perverted. I agree with that too, girl mom. She's like, you can imagine what a 15-year-old boy is doing in his room. Well, I mean, 15-year-old boys do a lot of stuff in their room, and if there was something that he was doing like that, that was overdoing it, right? Because it's normal. But then if it's something where they're overdoing it, then maybe that is something that you need to look into. And poor Sebastian had, um, issues himself in Katie's home under her watch, right? With SA, like the same thing that was done to her was done to Sebastian, and that was okay for Katie, right? She didn't worry about getting him help, in my opinion. And if she did worry about getting him help and he was still exhibiting these behaviors that were negative or too much, then she should have gotten him more help. But she didn't even get herself help, guys. She wanted to scoop it under the rug and acted like it never happened. Hello, Indigo. She wanted to act like no big deal, right? And that's the problem. Katie, that's how Katie kind of deals with things in life. Go from one person to the next person. Don't take any time to personally recuperate from trauma. Just keep going. That never works, by the way, especially when it's deep-seated trauma. That's the issue right there, Holly. Just imagine the network of pedos that family is connected with. It's always horrified me to think about. And I think there is a good chance that something like that could be going on because of the network, right, that is built, because it has to stay secret in order for these people to continue to operate, to share out horrible child SA material, right? Because I don't call it child corn. No way. I will never call it that because a child cannot consent to that, right? An adult can consent to doing those types of materials and then making money off of it, but the children do not. And even if they did, it wouldn't make it any better, right? They can't consent to that. It's abuse. That's it. Aw, thank you, Eric with an H, for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Dragon Tribe. Aw, thank you. I think you're renewed probably, but thank you very much. Um, Girl mom, yes, that her brain goes there. Also strange that she kept mentioning facial hair and him growing into his hormones. Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of videos where she did that too. Describing Sebastian, overnight, it seems like he, got facial hair, his voice got deeper. I didn't know who it was in the other room when he said something. So Ah, that's so funny. I am a dragon. I'm a dragon. Yes, I am. I never understood what happened to the California either. Almost felt like a setup of sorts. Well, and I mean, they made sure that they didn't. Again, they were guilting people, right? Katie comes out. How could you talk about that? Da 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 da. I would too. If my child was SA'd in my ex's care, I would absolutely blame that my ex for that, especially with the way that it was handled. And then also, or mishandled, right? Because Sebastian didn't get justice. He didn't get help, right? But then on top of it, him going missing, if then my child goes missing in that household, that's like, I mean, the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing already seemingly happened, and now you have this. I would absolutely let everybody know, who knows? Seth could have told law enforcement, and they probably didn't do jack shit about it. I wouldn't be driving all the way to Tennessee if they were doing what they're supposed to be doing. Right? I mean, come on. And then we have the United Cajun Navy, a month before I'm due to leave, saying that there's corruption, saying that there's people that don't want Sebastian to be found. You think that we should just overlook that because Katie wants to guilt us? No. Oh, well, that should have never came out. Too bad. Actually, I'm glad it did. And you know what? Maybe it wouldn't have had to come out if it wasn't for law enforcement doing their job. Because again, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about Sebastian's case still. He would be home. So, I mean, they need to look into this. And if it takes public pressure, then that's what we have to do. That's not my fault. I'm not going to feel sorry about that. I'm not going to feel guilty about it one bit. I didn't fault Seth one bit for telling. I would have told everybody too, just so everybody knows what is going on here. Nani says, and I know nobody likes to say it, but Sebastian Wedding himself definitely had many people questioning things, and KP's family history just added to those speculations, in my opinion. I understand that, Nani, and I think that could have been a reason why even her people were asking her about essaying her own son. Right? Because that was coming from her camp. I mean, I know it's a horrible thing to talk about. I don't like it. I would rather it not be part of Sebastian's situation. But again, I'm not the one that put it there. And I agree with you when it comes to people, grown-ups and older children that have been potty trained for years and years, and all of a sudden they start having issues with it. There's something wrong. There's something more wrong that's going on. And it's doing them a disservice by not talking about it. It's almost like we're allowing for it to happen. And IML, it's the same in Devlin's. It's the same in Devlin's case. And you've got a YouTuber now that is out there spreading misinformation in his case. And it's terrible because he deserves better. He's surrounded by registered sex offenders. If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. Or go be lazy and look it up on my channel. I have a whole playlist of this shit. But they don't want to see that. They want to be cozied up to the family. It's ridiculous. Hello, Kylie's Nail Candy. Trishy. I'm glad you're here. I'm not thrilled about what Elevated Truth said on the live stream, but what did he say? Why did he say that? Holly, that was my whole question too. And, I was driving home from Tennessee. I had gone to lunch with a big bunch of girls that are just lovely people. And we all got done with the lunch. I went back over to the neighborhood. I got, yelled at by the neighbor. And then I left town. And on the way home, because they were telling me about about Elevated Goof and what he was saying, I was like very confused, and I'm like, that's so weird. That guy's an idiot, but I'll go listen to it. So I did, and that was my takeaway. That was my big takeaway, Holly, was like, what why would he even ask that to Katie? But then again, I never did a whole real deep dive into her family until now, right? So I probably should have done that. But again, I was under the, you know, impression that it doesn't really have much to do with Sebastian's case, but now I'm wondering, So he was saying he asked Katie if she could have been pregnant bleh, sorry, had to puke first, with Sebastian's child, and that's why he disappeared. And that was the topic of conversation, Cece. And thank you. Thanks, Hey Jude. I wanted to double check because I didn't know if you know, when I started looking into Katie's family, that's who popped up was JLR. Not not in her family or anything. Sorry, JLR. Not in her family, but as somebody who posted the picture on X, and he was a big part of the rabbit hole that I went down because he was the only one with enough cojones to talk about it. At that time, and to bring the people to light. So that's who I, had to go to for information. You would think that the law enforcement agencies would be putting this information out for us in order for us to see who we're dealing with here, but they chose to keep it quiet. They're choosing Katie and her nasty old husband instead of Sebastian, right? That's what they're choosing. They're choosing him, Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot, over Sebastian. And they're even changing his pictures and rewriting the narrative at the Texas Roadhouse. And they're okay with that. They want Katie all done up with makeup and looking, pretty, instead of looking like she's about to go on Black Ops, right? With her iWatch. Where the frig is the iWatch? And we have Sebastian scared, shaking his head no. When he shakes his head no in this Texas Roadhouse video, it makes me sick in my stomach. Like I get a sick feeling because he's scooting closer to the wall and he's very nervous. His feet are nervous, his hands are nervous, his face, and he's saying no to whatever she's telling him, and he's not saying no quickly, or long, like no, 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 no. He's just saying no, like either she's interrogating him or something is happening, or it was just a quick no. But what were they talking about? The body language says everything. But they would rather protect these two imbeciles over Sebastian. Bless you. You know what? Something's wrong here. Something's definitely wrong. And thank you, Hey Jude. By the way, April Rain and myself will be present. Oh, good. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Yay, Eric. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to meet April. Oh, you guys are the best. I love that. I know of a lot of people that are coming to support. So that is exciting. Bless, thank you. I'm telling you, it's just so bizarre when you get down into these things. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. And the fact that these people could just call each other up. I need your help, right? Because they'll do anything for a little bit of money. If it happened under Seth's watch, Katie would be bringing it up to everyone. Lolo, boom. Exactly. Right? And what did they do? What did they do after that happened? Oh, they enlisted the help of Steve Fisher to say that Seth had problems with liking younger girls because Katie's younger. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's quite an age gap between the foot, the step foot, and Katie as well. So, and I mean, and that's the thing. They'll try to blame it on somebody else and take the heat off of them. They've done that from the beginning on everything. Oh, well, Seth made this much money, or Seth did this, Seth did that. Okay, but Seth was at work whenever Sebastian went missing. He took a lie detector test. Every single expert has deemed Seth to have had nothing to do with Sebastian's disappearance. And there are experts out there to this very day that want nothing more than for him to be cleared so that he can start working with them to find Sebastian. And that's Chris McDonough from the Cold Case Foundation. We heard him even back in September of 24. I don't understand why they won't clear Seth, is what he said. You know? Besides, CP shouldn't have tried using it against Sebastian. Well, exactly. And he did. He did, Lolo. And that was another reason that it pushed um, Seth to say something, right? Because they were pushing him and pushing him. They were going on different podcasts and saying that Sebastian shouldn't have been allowed around Faith. When in reality, Sebastian and Faith had a good relationship, but they would try to stop that relationship, right? Every chance that they got. Why was there a camera in Faith's room allegedly? Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't want my daughter around Katie. No way, no how. Katie's family likes little girls, in my opinion, because we have arrests made for sexual assault on little girls. But we're going to project that onto Seth, right? Wrong. Not over here, we're not. Elaine, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Because I'm worried about finding Sebastian. Not going into his room, but I should have slept outside his door that didn't have a knob on it. Yeah, exactly, Sammy. Yeah, she was saying that she didn't check on him, but now in hindsight she wishes that she would have slept outside his door if she would have known, you know. So again, doors. She's saying that he went out his bedroom door, he went out the front door. There's no evidence of that whatsoever, and if that had happened, there would be. Just plain and simple. They want to look right past both families' histories. Yep, of RSOs. Though we'll talk about Seth Rogers dating Katie when he's young, in my opinion. Exactly. Yeah, Jackie, they're trying to push it onto Seth when it's not the ball is not in his court. Look, if Seth and Katie got together when Katie was too young, that ship has sailed, right? And quite frankly, it's none of my business, right? They ended up having a beautiful child together, and the fact that Katie wants to bring that up, it just shows what she's trying to do. She's trying to push it off on Seth because she doesn't want eyes on her. Why, Katie? And it's not because you were just so beside yourself. That's not it. And your husband doesn't give a crap either. Katie, when you find CP's balls, why don't you wear them for a while so he can have a voice? Well, and Katie doesn't get to talk to anybody by herself. Not even the police. Cece says, Lady Freedom, there has been so much shit with this case. I remember what E.T. said. I mean, it's hard to forget. Yeah, he is a nasty old husband. He is. Hey, Valley Gal. I think he was getting shamed big time by his mama at Texas Roadhouse. I think so too, Trishy. I think so too. And I think also that it makes me believe that maybe Texana could be the green hoodie person because of the fact that I'm not convinced that Sebastian knew this person. I'm not convinced that he knew this person at all. And it's because I don't think he knew this person is why I don't think it's Francis. I mean, it could be, but he was watching and watching and watching the green hoodie, but he never said hello. He never nodded like he knew the person. He was just watching the interaction. So that's why I think it could be Texana. Hey Joe Neal, good to see ya. Shadow, hello. Hey Shadow. What are you eating? You got something. Everything with this seems to be projection. Absolutely, Holly. Absolutely. Gail says, I'm with you on the blurry video at Texas Roadhouse, but my thoughts are in the transcript between Texas Roadhouse rep and dog. It must be clearer because the Texas rep was positive on who it was. So I'm thinking it was blurred. Yeah. I don't know who blurred it, Gail, but it absolutely looks blurry. I was gonna post it last night, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to try to see if I could clean it up a little bit. I mean, I'll do my best. It's just it looks like it was deliberately. I mean, because this lady's moving around, yeah, but she's not moving that. I don't know. It just seems like it's been altered. Holly says exactly what I've been screaming and thinking. I would not want a camera in my daughter's room. It makes me sick to think of it. It's streaming to those perverts in the family. I know, Holly, and that's the thing that makes me sick with the New Mexico courts, right? Like I have a lot of family in Albuquerque. A lot. That's where my family is from. That's where I was born. And for them to give that beautiful little child to these fucking monsters, it sickens me to no end. And then to hear that there was a camera in her bedroom of all places, like if you put one on the exterior of the house that points to her bedroom window, in my opinion, that's a different story, right? Because that's just, maybe because you're worried that she could get out of the window. To put it in her bedroom, these sick fucks. And look at Chris. I mean, just look at him. Does that look like a trustworthy person to you? Because it doesn't look like a trustworthy person to me. And when somebody sticks their tongue out after they make a statement, they're most likely lying. So that was when he was talking about how he wants Sebastian home badly, badly, and then he sticks his tongue out. Freaking jerk. How do we know she's not taking Faith around that nasty mother? Yep, like she took Sebastian around him. Exactly, Holly. And how do we know that she's not letting that little girl FaceTime with that nasty pervert? Her mother is a pervert, a complete pervert, right? And who's to say Katie doesn't have the same tendencies, especially allowing for her son to be essayed in her care and then doing jack all about it? Disgusting. And then feeling like, playing the victim role, like, oh, I can't believe somebody would bring up my trauma, bring up my son's trauma. Yeah, because you allowed for it, Katie. I can't believe you allowed for that, Katie. No, it's not shame on me. It's not shame on us. It's shame on you for allowing that shit. Because the minute that you found out about that, it should have been like you should have went into mama bear mode. Instead, you went into, oh, it's not my fault mode. That's piss poor at best. I don't know why she walked out that, or I don't know why he walked out that door in my most obnoxious Southern accent I can muster. Total bullcrap. Lolo, I love doing that with Katie. But it's weird. I don't know why he walked out that front door. It's like they've always pushed that from the very beginning. And then it wasn't until Nancy Grace that they started talking about the possibility that Sebastian was abducted. And Nancy's like, well, why do you think that? And Katie's like, because we haven't found him yet. So I'm thinking that it could be that. But there's no reason for her to think that. There was no scent, there's no camera footage, there's no reason to think that. So Sasha says, who lives at the house across from Worsham's? We learned from Killer Looks that these people like to use abandoned houses for child porn, and that house is very odd. It's right by the cemetery. Are you talking about the one, the pig, the one that has a pig, the pedo with the pig? Because I know that person was looked into. Um, I mean, obviously not by law enforcement, but by Seth's PIs. How long does this camera have to stay in her room? When she's a teenager, does she get privacy? And then that's disgusting. I know it is. It is, Holly. I mean, and does she know that it's in there? You know? Because I mean, if and does her mother know? I mean, if that's the case, I would make my daughter go in the bathroom and shut the door so she can have some privacy to dress and undress and things like that. Like, ugh. This family is so disgusting. They make me want to throw up. The fact that the home is so questionable that it needs a camera should be a hint to the judge. Yes, that visitation should not be happening there at all. I agree with that. I think that they should spend a week or however long in New Mexico, right? They have enough money to do that, don't they? They travel around all the time, you know? Thank you, little Miss Sharon. And what's with the storage place? Who called the Worsham's tip and who lives in that house across the street? Is that where the mannequin was standing in the woods? I don't think it was over by the Worshams, but I could be wrong. Worshams is not far away. It's like maybe a 5-minute drive down the road. Which again, if I had never been to the area, I wouldn't realize how close everything is, to each other. Very true, Karen. That's very true. Anyone can dress and walk like a man with a wig. Just saying, do you think LE checked all of the RSO's cell phones, records, and alibis? Were they never a suspect? If not, why? I mean, I wonder the same thing, Karen. I don't understand why they wouldn't look into all aspects. That's, looking into Seth, looking into Seth's circle, looking into Katie and Chris and their circle, right? I mean, it's just something that needs to have been done. And I don't even know if they did look into that. I mean, who knows if any of their vans or their work vehicles or his RV was checked, I hope so, Lolo. I hope they get what they deserve. Because at this point, it's on them. There's no one left to blame besides these two for guilty knowledge, any of those. Yes, little Miss Sharon, I will. Here, let me change this background really quick because this is the picture of the mannequin house. Well, it's a barn. It's a barn. When you come into Shackle Island, right? When you're coming into that area, this is what you see. Right? You see a barn with a mannequin. And it's weird, but there were people who had come into the chat and defended the mannequin, and they were like, hey, that's something that the high schoolers like to dress up and put in the window of the barn. It's somewhat, I guess, of a tradition type of a thing, and so, of course, I don't wanna, you know, make fun of the high school kids, but I mean, it is odd, in my opinion. And then this is Texana. Here's the one, and then here's the other one. And I'll do a close-up when I make a video too, guys, because I got a video coming up that I've been working on. But I didn't have a chance to get it up, and then I skipped last night because I was busy researching, and then, I decided to pop on and just kind of, do a little bit of a preview conversation. That way we all know what to expect for later. So, um, thank you guys. Thank you, Witchy. I think she was probably telling him he was going to, uh, where he was going to live. Yeah, God knows. I mean, and I know God only knows why he was saying no. He was shaking his head no, 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 no. Holly, and it's sad because Sebastian really was having a hard time of it in that house, and God only knows what he could have been, getting in trouble for. And that's what it feels like to me, is that he was getting in trouble for something. Or he could have been being told, you're going to go here because you've been bad. Even though he looks like he's behaving so well, even though he was disappointed earlier in the day, allegedly. Sasha says there's no way that the dispatch was referring to the mannequin at the Shackle Island house. It was way closer to the retention wooded area near the cemetery. I think there was a random mannequin near the immediate area where Sebastian went missing. Because again, you pass by this and then there's the Shackle Island. I mean, it's all close. Let me see if I can't pull. I know where this video is because I was able to find that video and just not the other one that I was looking for with the complaining on it from Chris and Katie and the feigning of outrage, even though, let's see. So that would have been okay. I think it's this one. Let me take a look really quick. Oh, that's right, because we're by the cemetery. Okay, so did I take? All right. Yeah, this is it. Okay. All right. So just bear with me here. All right, so this is the area, right? Um, Again, you can see that the houses are very far off of the road. Very far off of the road. So, I mean, if they have cameras and stuff like that, they may not reach all the way out to the road. Sorry, whoop, bumpy. And again, I was just wanting to film the immediate area. We're headed over to, I believe, Sebastian's school right now. But it's a cute little area, right? That's the church right there. I mean, it's all just right here, in this area. I think it could have been too, Joe, that it was a stipulation, but I just don't see why they would put it in her room. I don't see Nina doing that to her, you know, um, unless she told her, you can't be dressing and undressing in your room. I mean, I wouldn't want Katie around my daughter, never, ever. No, no way. I would have fought tooth and nail, and I think she did, you know. Trishy says, I think Texana might be a little bit too short to be the green hoodie. So I know, I was thinking that too. It's so hard to see the height, right? This is Sebastian's school. right over here. Sorry, it's coming up. Clicked on the wrong one. But when we turn in, we have the middle school, right, which is the green top. You can see like a playground and all of that kind of stuff. And then we're going to be coming up on Sebastian's school because we're going to make a left. And we're going to be able to see the whole school. And I mean, we've seen Beach High School before plenty of times because they had the vigils over there for Sebastian. And there it is, Beach High School, Buccaneers. You can also see that the mannequin and the barn is, you know, dressed up for Buccaneers, like a mascot of sorts. Which is, again, it's odd, but I mean, it's their tradition. So I mean, you know. Oh, thank you, Hey Jude, for gifting a Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives membership. Cool. If you got a membership from Hey Jude, say thank you. And welcome to the Dragon Tribe, guys. We're going to do that trivia. It's going to be so much fun. Hey, Brenda Calvert, good to see you. Katie called searching the dark web for... Katie wanted the dark web searched. It may have Sebastian and all that bullshit. She basically admitted she didn't think that happened, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't know what she meant by that, you know, because she said, please check it, you know, please check the bullshit. Basically, I don't believe it, but, you know, check it anyway, kind of a thing. Katie likes to order people around, again, like she's the fucking Queen of Sheba, and like she can do that. All right. So this is us pulling out of the school parking lot. Can you guys see that right there? That's the Shackle Island Fire Station. It's literally kitty corner to the high school. Everything is right here, guys. Everything is right here. I don't think that they would choose to do, you know, activities right next to his school, right next to the command center, right? Even though it wasn't the command center just yet. Here it is, though. See that? Shackle Island Fire Rescue. You know, and I can't really tell if this is like a camera or not. And I figured out that I can't say I'm 100% sure, but I don't think this is one that's manned 24 hours or anything, you know? So, I mean, here we are. And then again, we're going to be going into, that's right across the street, guys. See, remember that? We just turned in. It's right across. And this is the cemetery area. That's the school. And these guys were over here having a meeting of the minds. This is a Saturday, a little before noon on a Saturday. And they've got a shed over there. They're all meeting. They're talking. And then here's another building for the church, Beach Christian Life Center, right? So this is probably where they hold a lot of things, right? The main entrance gym. You have classrooms. You have the church office and church fellowship, right? So they do a bunch of stuff in this building. It's a big, long building, as we're about to see, right? So this is where they do a lot of, you know, a meeting of the mind, so to speak. Again, fellowship. Now we get to the cemetery, right? And again, you can see that stadium, which is right across the street. And this is a historic cemetery, has Mancy's tombstone, which is one of the identifiers for it on the map. And oddly enough, there was someone that was being buried there that Saturday. If anybody cares to know that or what that process looks like, we're about to see it. Because I don't think that was taken into account when, you know, we were considering the lights in the cemetery. Nero V, good to see you. Yeah, leaving the cemetery would be picked up by the fire station camera. I'm thinking so, NeuroV. I'm thinking so. And even the cameras, they have to have cameras at the Masonic Lodge and things like that. Those people are really secretive. We were talking a little bit about them, the other night, just not these Masons specifically, but just Masons in general. So Oh, okay. Keep an ear out to see if anyone between upstate New York and Tennessee want to come down on the 26th. Oh, yeah, I will. And I know there's also a Facebook group too, Sandy, um, as well. So, but here we go. Again, there's like a little bridge, and then we're approaching the pond area, right? Because that's where all the feed, water runoff goes off. There's the columbrium or whatever it is. And a big open field. So plenty of room still. And it is, again, like I said, an active cemetery. So, and now all of this stuff has grown up. I want to go ahead and play this part because Jen and Jeff have some insight to give. So give me 1 second.
I don't think I'm going to get anywhere. Yeah, this wasn't like this when Sebastian was missing.
Right.
This was not like this. It's gonna make me a liar.
This goes to the board line.
Is it really? It's gonna make me into a liar. But this wasn't here. This was not here when Sebastian went missing. I swear to God.
Right. Right. Well, that's the disadvantage, Jen, is that, oh man, I wish I would have came out,
She didn't make me no.
No, it doesn't go through, huh?
Yeah, this wasn't paved. This was dirt. This was dirt. I swear.
But see, that's gated.
I've got a witness too. My daughter and the girl that brought me out here.
That's gated too, though, Jen. How would they get through in a car?
Well, she wouldn't have. But I'm telling you, this was gated, and this was a road.
It's a trail, basically.
And the church, that church,
Mm-hmm.
owns all that, and we've searched that. This is Ward Lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that butts up against the
I would
neighborhood.
back up and then keep your front wheels on the pavement if you're trying to turn around.
Okay.
All right, guys, I just want to turn the volume off while Jen turns around and stuff like that. But I also want you guys to be able to look right here. Okay, so this is all fenced off right here. It's not like a fence goes around all the way, but you can see there's a tree line that if somebody came barreling in a truck or a car or what have you, they wouldn't have been able to get through this. It's thick woods, and if they did get through it and they were able to bulldoze a spot through to get around the fence, so to speak, there would have been evidence of that. And people were over there searching that very morning like mad, right? They just were. Thank you, Little Miss Sharon, for gifting a Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives membership. If you got a membership from Little Miss Sharon, please say thank you. And welcome to the Dragon Tribe. Thanks, Little Miss Sharon. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. That's just really helping everybody get a chance to come in and play the trivia. You guys are going to have a blast with that, I hope. So here we go. Here's another little area, and you can see, Ward Lane. There's a road back here, and then it's open field and, private property, things like that. Again, there's no way anybody could have gotten through this and with a vehicle, that is, right? Or heavy machinery or anything like that. It would never happen, guys. So I just want you to see that. You'd be able to see, a hole maybe that somebody came through and tire tracks and the whole 9 yards. And in that case, somebody would have some splaining to do, Lucy, right? So here we go. And Jen's talking about how they absolutely searched all of that area as well and went through again. And the same dog that was used with the mob crew cemetery search that they recently did was the same dog, Malice, and his trainer. It's the same person. All right, here we go.
Very surprised. I mean, you still can't drive through there. I mean, you still can't.
You still can't drive through there, I agree.
Because they were like,
But
oh,
none of this was here. Like, this was all, we tracked it, and that's, they looked, this was here. And it's
And look at all that crap.
from the flooding.
oh, okay.
And then there was a big flood through the area, right? Like a great big flood through the area. So very interesting. And that's what caused all this debris.
Actually, that looks new. I remember we went through here. See, it actually, when I came after Sebastian went missing, you couldn't drive a car back through here. It was all grown up, just like
Did you guys hear that?
we just backed up into.
Right.
It was all grown up. So this was as far as you could go, right through here.
And then look at all these mounds of dirt, right? Because that's probably a lot of what they're digging up in order to, make room for fresh people who are coming in, who have passed away.
Because I remember this. They searched this area a lot. This area.
Right, because just in case he would have gotten, like, if he did leave out,
All right. And then see this, guys, as well. There's this big, like, I don't even know what to call it. Either way, that's not the casket, right? We know what a casket looks like. It's something to put the casket in. And it was all searched with the dogs, with the same dog. The same dog, that Jen's talking about, is the dog that was recently in there. So they know which areas were searched and which weren't by Malice. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's a shit name for a dog, Joe. I don't know. I think it's, whatever. You usually want to use kind of like a one syllable to two syllable name for a dog, to make it easier, But then again, I don't know. I call my dog Mr. Beagles. Yeah, you. And so, I don't know. But either way, this is what they're doing. And they got this machine, they're preparing all of this. So this is what it looks like when they're actually preparing. This gentleman looks like he's, in the know about what his job entails and what he's doing. I mean, so I would think if there was any disturbances whatsoever in any of the graves, they would see it.
And so we've got this pond here. That's on the map. We've got this pond here. And there's another one up here. Or was in the new construction.
and in the beginning I was thinking.
And I think also that there's my bigger question, because I do not think Sebastian's in the cemetery. I do not think the cemetery activity had much to do with Sebastian's disappearance, especially because it happened after everything that happened in the neighborhood, right? So if Sebastian made it home and the lights, the flashlights were how he got out of the house, I don't think it fits together at all. But it is interesting that there was some sort of activity, and I do think that if they had ditched, some sort of evidence in the cemetery, it would have been found by now, because it's just been so heavily searched by so many different dogs, so many different people. The bigger question for me is, why was it after that we did this video that the neighbors felt compelled to start giving more footage to Mob Crew, right? What was the reason? Because I could never live with myself knowing that I was holding back footage, or that I had given footage to the police and they didn't do anything about it. I would have been giving it out to the public a lot sooner. So what has taken them so long to start, giving this out? right? Because all we did was drive around.
And that maybe he was drawn to the water before we knew that he didn't like to get dirty, that he didn't like, swimming in like, lakes and streams and stuff and, rivers. Because, I mean, even Chris said that. He's like, he doesn't like to get dirty. That's the thing. So why would.
Yeah, and then Chris called him a tomboy.
And.
Yeah, the girl that brought me here, she's a local. She lives out here. I can't remember her name. Her grandmother's buried out here, so she knew.
Yes, Liberty, that does appear to be a tiny creek that goes into that retention pond, for what, water runoff. I mean, there's like little creeks and ponds all over the area, so much darn water, Yeah, the dam is like 10 miles away. Yeah. I think they're changing clothes over there, and I'm anxious to see what those things are in the ground. Which things, Sammy? So, I mean, I just don't see I don't see anyone doing a crime and then waiting 20 minutes and going back to where, near the crime, because we're about to see how close it is.
Yeah, it's very well kept over here too, like better than I thought it was, like looking at it, seeing it. People maintain it very nicely, I mean, some of the older graves, of course, maybe not as much, but.
Now, the pond that the pastor from Long Hollow Baptist Church owns, it's like 10 feet and nobody searched it.
All right, so that's another area of interest, I would think, if no one searched that area. So no, Lolo, he did do a live, but he put it on members only.
Really? The pond. They had cadaver dogs. They had dogs out there.
Okay, so this is the other, side of the church area. So they have both sides, as Jen was saying.
And this is just what this is what the neighbor told me that lives next door to the pastor.
Right.
Oh, shit.
See, so there's all this area, and, in my opinion, there would be cameras. All right, and again, we have the Masonic Lodge. Right here is the Shackle Island Fire Station. So again, anybody that pulls out of this area would have been seen on camera, I do believe. Right? Because look, it's directly across the street, the entrance, guys, right across. All right, so now we're going to go into the new construction, and here's the building, right, in the background. There's the mannequin. So it's directly, again, across on the same side of the street as the Shackle Island Fire Station, right? I mean, it's right there. So the two small things that allegedly popped up on the ground, penetrating radar, I'm anxious to see if there's a bag or a cell phone. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, Sammy. There's no way in hell, in my opinion. It's like if we hit a dead end on our theories, it's good to take an L on that, and it's good to just keep moving it forward, in my opinion. I'm not going to stay in the past, and when there's already been all that stuff has been talked about, and it's just, in my opinion, you had the same dog trainer that has been in the area. Time to just move on, in my opinion. You need to blow your nose? You keep making that noise. Okay. Well, you might be getting sick.
Before, there was just not many houses built at the time.
Right.
So a lot of it was construction. Take you up here.
Okay, guys, so you can see my clock. It was 11:33. 11:33 a.m. So that gives you a good time to understand when they do, work in the cemetery as well. I think this is, a valuable piece of information that can really help us identify, what's going on.
So a lot of it was construction. Take you up here. Wasn't it this one, babe? Parking here? I think it was this one. Shit, I'm gonna be able to get through there. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see the big ass construction dumpsters here. It's
And that's Republic Services.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for yesterday. I'm like, what the hell?
So this is where the culverts were.
This is where the culverts were open. So on Willow Bend right here, I'm thinking.
Right.
Okay, guys, so this is where the culverts were open off of Willow Bend. Willow Bend was a high topic of search, right? And we could hear that over the dispatch audio the first day, over and over and over again. I appreciate that, Sammy. I just don't think it's fair to milk something like this. It's either, we got it or we don't, and now we know we don't. And, to say, "Oh, that one little thing." No, nope, no, ma'am. No, sir. It's not fair. The K9 Captain Jules is here. Thank you, K9 Captain Jules, for being here. So with the culverts being wide open in this area, this is another area of interest, in my opinion. Again, I don't know that if somebody had, kidnapped Sebastian from his house and brought him right to the neighborhood next door. And again, there's cameras and it's a neighborhood, right? If you're doing something that you're trying not to get caught, you're not going to go to an area that's got a lot of cameras, right? You're not going to go right across the street from the fire station, where subsequently was the area where, they did have the mobile command center, and the command center was set up.
To the left, right?
Was where that giant ass. They done gated it off.
Damn.
Oh, shit, they did.
So right here was a giant fucking pile of tree debris that they had bulldozed up. It's probably 30 foot tall and maybe 80
Who's
foot
behind
around.
us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how are we going to get around here?
Go in somebody's driveway.
Okay, guys, so we just kind of turned around in that spot. And yes, Liberty, Hendersonville PD got the camera footage from the school. And that's where we could see Katie driving around the parking lot at the school. So if they got school footage and they got camera footage from every single place all around, I mean, that's what they were asking people to do instead of search, right? And we listened to Sheriff Craddock make that, call in order to give people something to do also, right? Like, because people were like, do you need people to come out and help search? And they're like, no, we would rather you guys check your camera footage, right? Check your properties twice a day. That's the things that you can do to help. But they were gathering footage as well. And they were also going door to door to gather footage. So if those people were holding back footage and then give it to a YouTuber 2 years later, I mean, that's a major issue in and of itself, and especially when Sebastian's own father hasn't even seen that footage. How long was KP gone when she went searching for him in the morning? I don't know exactly how long she was gone. I'm guessing it was somewhere between 20 minutes and maybe 30 minutes. Because we know from the dispatch that she was still out looking for Sebastian. When they were searching for Sebastian, right? So they're like, the mother's out looking and driving around the neighborhood. in Victoria Place. So she was still driving around their neighborhood at that point. So we do know that she went to the school. We do know that she was driving in and out of the areas right immediately by their home. And this is one of the areas, as well as the cemetery and the school. You know, it goes their neighborhood, it goes the cemetery, excuse me, it goes their neighborhood, the new phase of the neighborhood, which was the new construction. And then we have the cemetery, and then the school. Everything is boom, 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 right next door to each other. So yeah, I'm thinking, thanks, Hey Jude. I'm thinking it was like 20 to 30, right? Because, originally we were told by Chris and Katie that he was on three-way with her and he's like, go back to the house, right? So that's another big mistake that they made, was they were saying, go back to the house, right? And so yeah, that wasn't it. She was actually still searching even after they were, um, you know, deployed to the neighborhood, or, were assisting. Um, hey, Lisa B, always good to see you. Did you notice Katie never admitted to leaving the home in the early interviews? Never. Lisa, that was added in. That was absolutely added in. I drove around the neighborhood. All of that was, theatrics on the interview with Chronicles of Olivia. And that is the one also where she said we did a three-way and she tapped out onto the table and was saying that Chris told her to go back, which, everybody was like, well, why did he tell you to go back if you were on the three-way call, right? That was the first indication they were lying. But even more so, it solidifies it with the audio from the dispatch, right? Because they're saying his mom is driving around the neighborhood. We can't ask her any questions because she's too busy driving around, looking for him, by the way, with her windows rolled up, right? With her windows rolled up. And this is the problem. This is, in the neighbor's defense. The problem with this is that the police should have caught Katie and Chris in their lies. If you are missing a person or an animal who can hear you, you start calling for them. I mean, if it's an object like your keys, you're not like, keys, where are you? Even though they have those whistle things that you can whistle and it's supposed to help you find your keys. But if you're looking for someone who is alive and who you think could be walking the neighborhood, you're absolutely going to have your window rolled down. So shame on you, Katie, and get unfucked up again. You're not a good liar, in my opinion. We went by the pig guy's house, Sasha. It's not far away from here either. Do you know what way she turned when she left the backside of the school? I don't, Valley Gal. There's no way to know that. The only information that we have is what they've told us, So you'll see it. You'll see the pig guy, Sasha, but I want you guys to see this area because I just don't know that people have a good grasp on it. And then again, I know people were saying that this area was part of Danny Guy's uh, second generation homes, but you can kind of even tell. Sorry, this. Oh, I went too far.
These are the culverts that were open.
Sorry, guys. I just want to hit that vehicle. Here it is. And you can see it's AG Exterior Solutions and not, one of his properties, just so you guys see that.
Did they back in?
Yeah, Jackie, this is...
Okay, maybe.
These are all the newest houses built, and also this is how you can tell that the original footage that Mob Crew was working with wasn't the test that they said that they did on it, and he did come out and correct that. So I was thankful for that because I thought I was losing, my mind. Um, these houses are not small little ranch houses or anything. They're big. They're great big. So um, before it was more open and you could see across, right? But now these days you can't see across there, right? So their test couldn't have been um, to scale, so to speak, because of these houses, right? Being in the site,
So these are the
right?
culverts that
There's just no way.
were open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, they are. That right there.
yeah, that's
And
that
the
one.
one back there, and the next one. They were all open. This was
See that? They were all open, guys, big gaping holes, not just, a little grate like how we see it here now, right? Big holes.
No shit.
gravel road.
This was gravel.
It was curb and culverts. None of these houses were here.
None of these houses were here. It was nothing. This was all blank.
Okay, that was all.
You couldn't
I remember.
even. We couldn't drive up through here like we just did.
Right.
We could only get
Through that gate.
from that. The gate wasn't there, so we came this way, and I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Right. And also, we saw this when people were driving this area back when this all happened. So you have to be able to see it. Yeah, and guys, you guys got to get over it. You guys just got to get over it. Don't argue in the chat. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a conversation. But I'm here to tell you, you guys would be better to listen to what Jen is saying here because she was there at this time more than somebody that only has footage, right? Let's listen to what Jen is saying here. And Jeff. Sorry, Jeff.
From their neighborhood, because that's what really freaked me out is these big ass fucking.
Yeah, those are
everywhere.
huge. They're
They
huge.
were everywhere, honey.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they were all over the place.
I was hoping
And I
we
was
could
like,
see,
holy fucking shit, man.
I was hoping we could see an area that was still under construction enough that they would be open and be able to see it.
Right.
They
Exactly.
didn't shut this place down. They kept working. They kept going. But look,
This is all the same
look
company.
at all the shit. You could, I mean,
Right.
girl.
And these ones picked up, what was it, Wednesday or?
And look how big those dumpsters are, guys. Those dumpsters, they didn't get in the dumpster and search the dumpster. They flew a drone over it, according to what we heard in the dispatch. Now, did they get in there afterwards? Maybe so. Maybe so. You know? And that no, you're fine. You are totally fine, Sasha. It's always going to be a weird situation when people want to, latch onto a theory. So Trishy, the culverts are oh, sorry. Django. The culverts, let me show you one. They have grates over them now, but it's like right here. And I think there's another view that I pointed the camera down to. But see? And those are right in the area. Right there. There's a manhole too, I believe, in the middle. But they were all open at that time because it was all under construction. Here comes the other one. Right? And that's it. But before they were open, right? I hate when I just have to go back a tad. All right, there we go. We're gonna have to watch that again. But that's where everything was opened up and then they covered it, right? They paved the road because it was all gravel, and mud and things like that. Ah, there we go. I got it. Okay, so see how this, is a pretty big grate, and before this grate was there, it was wide open, Trishy. I mean, it was just wide open. Um, and I promise I will show that, Sasha. I just want people to understand the area and see what we're dealing with because, again, if we're latched onto a theory, we're not we're not doing what we should be doing. Which he says culverts are the big pipes that go under the roads to feed any water underneath to other ditches when needed instead of having the water run over the roads. Thank you. Yeah, and you can see that too, right? Because like everything's going to go into there. It's kind of like the sewer system. Thanks, Witchy. Yeah. So I mean, and these things were open because it was all under construction, and it's like a tunnel. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Canine Captain Jules. But they were all open to where you could walk around down in there. Hello, Poppy Love. Good to see you. So, and when I go back, I'll make sure to get some good footage, some good footage for us as well. No, they were not Narrow V. They were not. No. As a matter of fact, I do remember there was a certain contractor. I can't remember who it was. So, and they did search these culverts in the beginning. Seth went down in there. They put cameras down. But it's still concerning because there was weather that hit about the third day. So that would cause, water runoff and stuff like that. Hello, NorCal SoGal. Good to see ya. Brenda Calvert says everyone just wants Sebastian found and tired of the BS, which wish we all had more faith in those in charge of the case. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to, Brenda. And I was trying to articulate that when we were discussing the cemetery, right? Because we should have faith that every single, option or angle was looked into, but we just don't have that. We don't have that mindset. And the reason is because of all that has happened in Sebastian's case, everything that's been allowed to happen in our, from our view by law enforcement. You know, it's concerning, and that's why I think it's important to go there and voice our opinions. What if Sebastian got into a storage unit to hide but didn't get out? Maybe my speculation opinion, allegedly, we need to check. The storage buildings by Warsham's, Sasha, because I'll show you guys those as well in this. It's like the sewer. Yeah, it's like the sewer in my opinion, you know? I'm asking Detective Carter to check those units. Why not? It's possible he hid in a unit and got locked in. Yeah, I mean, I would think that it would be a good idea to check them, but how would he get in there and then get locked in? Is my question. You know? No, they don't. Thanks, Seth. Good to see you. Brenda, those in charge of this case do not radiate confidence and punctuality. They don't. They sure don't, do they? And that's part of the issue, right? Because if we could be like, yeah, law enforcement has checked all of these things, and we could be like, okay, check, 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 right? But they haven't done that. And that's a problem, right? Even when people were like, did they use luminol in the house? Did they take carpet fibers or samples from Sebastian's room? Those are all things that we could try to indicate if somebody had been in his room that wasn't supposed to be there, but they haven't checked. They just haven't checked.
They were all over the place. And I was like, holy fucking shit, man.
I was hoping we could see an area that was still under construction enough that they would be open and be able to see it.
Right, exactly.
They didn't shut this place down. They kept working. They kept going, but look.
This is all the same
look
company.
At all the shit.
Look, these are massive dumpsters, guys. Humongous dumpsters that are full of crap, right? Just full of crap. So again, I don't think that they would have put Sebastian, near the place where they took him, I think that would have been, a dead giveaway. We would have found him, all of that, because they did search this area multiple times, multiple ways.
I mean,
Right.
girl.
And these ones picked up, what was it, Wednesday? Or when did they pick those big ones up?
I could never get any,
Well, that's
I
usually
ended up finding the owner, and he's in Florida, and I mean,
Oh,
it's,
dang.
yeah.
the way it works on our job sites is the contractor calls in when they're ready for it to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sure, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And I never could.
I mean, look at the size of these houses, guys. They're huge, right? Taller than they are wide, right? So again, there's no way that you can just see X-ray vision all of a sudden through these houses.
A direct answer of where they take it. The contractor, I guess, they would have their own place. And
Right.
so when people were talking about, well, they took it up there in Gallatin, I have a hard time believing that.
Sure, yeah.
It would have to be a commercial dump, I don't know. You'd have to be
Republic
contracted
has a
with it.
contract with certain dump sites,
Yeah.
and certain
Oh.
dump sites will only take certain debris in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So all of that is a factor.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So again, we're gonna go back on to Long Hollow Pike, right? Jen's about to bust a right, but here is that again, the barn with the mannequin in it. It is right by Sebastian's house, right? Poppy Love says it really bothered me when CP was allowed to leave town overnight to Memphis and to Mississippi to his RV, clean it, switch it with his mom and stepdad, and they left with another. I mean, I think that is a strong possibility, right? He said we went down, and I do have a clip of that to share as well. But I only wanted to put the one piece in, right? But I mean, again, he was allowed to just go do whatever he'd like to do without any, escort. And, you would think that that's where they would check. No, they didn't luminol to my knowledge. Yeah, no, that he did not. Jules says, wait a second, did Chris tell someone that they did not luminol in the house? Yeah, he told Smiley. He told Smiley that. And yeah, that was the best of my knowledge. To this new construction not being shut down is also bullshit. Yeah, I agree, Sandy. They needed to shut everything down. They needed to shut Sebastian's house down. If that meant Sebastian's parents, Chris and Katie, that is, at the time, you're thinking that their parents needed to leave their house in order for them to secure and not contaminate the crime scene. In my opinion, that's what needed to happen. And Katie might not have even had to go to the hotel because she should have probably been in a room being questioned. In my opinion, So if he's got shut in, yeah, I just don't know how he would have got locked in, because those things don't just automatically lock. You got to put like a padlock on it, So that's the only thing with that. CP cleaned out the RV, switched it out with mom and stepdad, and they took it across country, left CP with another RV. Yeah, it does appear that there was a different RV that Chris had than he had previously. There's a lot of water, Poppy. There's a lot of water. There were two others that went with CP, in my opinion. Yeah, I think definitely one, but there could have been two for sure. We just don't know. So, did Justin show proof of there being two people, Lisa? I'll have to go back and look at that. Me and a few friends went through their the whole construction areas, sewers and all, and I went through that area on day 1 or 2. Thank you, Seth. Checking any open area. I walked through the houses that were open, knocked on doors. Wow, and screamed his name through the whole site. So, Yeah, I mean that thank you, Seth, for confirming that. I mean, gosh, it just seems like the area was so thoroughly checked around that around Sebastian's home, the immediate area, so Sammy, I never heard that from LE, only the people online, but when I found out who the handler was, I was told the dog was not certified. Oh, okay, Malice? The whole case from day one is just full of bad LE people that don't know how to do their job. Yeah, why are none of them in LE fired right away? Some people were let go, I think, or retired, given an award and retired, to the best of my knowledge, allegedly, in my opinion. Yeah, nobody checked the storage units. I do remember that being the case, Sasha. I do. So, if Seth went to get an RV, people would be talking about it nonstop. CP does it in its innocence. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that, Jules. Yeah, absolutely. Um, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this and just get caught up a little bit on absolutely. We have to factor all of that in and this is managed by Gertner and Company.
So there's the creek, woods and stuff back that way. The creek is back there, I think.
All right, here we go, guys. This is Victoria Place.
Here's Kellen.
Okay, Kellen, yeah.
Do you want to come up front?
Yeah, we should probably switch. Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Jeff. I didn't think about it. I'm just still trying to get my mind around all this. I'm like, damn.
Where this is the infamous home with my crew.
Oh, this is the one right here, huh? Yeah. Oh, I see it. Okay, sorry.
Betty and JLR and Terry Bowers outside his
had their thing here, huh? Okay, so we're talking about how JLR, had a run-in with Terry Bowersox, and he was kind of following him around the neighborhood, taking pictures, type of a thing. Which this neighborhood is notorious for that, right? You have a lot of disgruntled neighbors, and a lot of them have more knowledge than they want to give up, in my opinion. And they don't give it to the proper people. They give it to Katie, they give it to YouTubers, but they're refusing to do anything about it. And there's the house that they followed me out of the neighborhood. No, but look at the size of those big drains. Could you imagine those being open and then you're just able to walk, through, as Seth was describing? They're saying they would have flipped a bitch up that way and came back down and curved over here. And then, of course, this ditch goes all the way back. All the way back. Damn, that ditch is deep as fuck. And it really is, guys. It's if you get out and you look into it, you can see how deep it is. It is narrow at certain points, but in other points, it's large. All right, so here is the side of Chris and Katie's house. They've obviously added some bushes and things like that on this side. Also, there's like a little door over here, a little white door for their crawl space, in my opinion. And then again, here is Chris's RV that he still has there. I don't know whose truck that is. It was alleged that it was Crabtree's. I don't know. I don't care. Really, to be honest. Yeah, we just talked about that on our last live, Lisa, about that subject and about
It's such a cute name. I mean, these houses are so cute, you know, and it's so
the dark
nice.
web.
I mean,
Very nice.
you just wouldn't even think, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, these aren't just like, you know, this isn't a neighborhood of like cheap little houses or anything like that, right? This area, they're big houses, they're tall, you know, so again, I think they're going to have more security cameras than other places. And then, of course, we see the floodlights on Chris and Katie's vehicle, or excuse me, on Chris and Katie's home. And they're put in to the appropriate spots to light the exterior of the home as you would think that you should, right? After the fact. But these were gone when Sebastian was missing. But now we can see they've been replaced. Kind of like their cameras. So there you go. And, you know, you can just kind of get an idea. Now, this is fall, so there's still, you know, leaves on some of the trees and things like that. But of course, we made this trip in, you know, 10, 11 minutes. And we're right by everything, even though we've stopped, even though we were talking, you know, I mean, so everything is just right in the immediate area. All right. So I know we were gonna go up the street, but I want to bring you guys over to when we're leaving the neighborhood. So just give me a second so I can show you guys the storage and Worshams. Oh, actually, okay, let me just play this through. Let me play this through.
God, that is a perfect, like, path that he would have hit. If he had cameras, he would have had him. You know, he would have had him.
Oh, he does have cameras.
So back then, wasn't this the only way to get in?
This was the only way, yeah.
Okay, this was all a dead end closed off.
Yeah, this was a
The
dead.
gate was
Yeah,
not
the
here.
gate. The gate wasn't here.
Oh, I see how it all connects now.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the new construction.
Yeah, this is the new construction area. Wasn't gated, and like I said, you see those manholes in the middle right there.
Those were wide open, huh?
Yeah, the culverts where the storm drain is going to go into, they weren't small and covered. They were gaping.
They were 3
big.
foot by 5 or 6 foot, and about
Yeah,
6 or 8 foot.
yeah, they
deep.
were huge.
That's huge.
Huge.
That is huge.
Yeah.
He could have definitely got in there. He's not
Or been put in
short,
there.
but I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't see him going.
The cadaver
There's
dogs,
no
the
way
dogs
he
didn't
did
go
that.
that way though.
They didn't.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
The dog handler that we had up here walked them, and the wood pile, the giant wood pile, walked all over the wood pile.
Really? So they must have smelled something. And that's just a cul-de-sac, a little court.
So that's Chris Carr's house.
And their area butts right up to that. And there's that big.
No, I don't like the sign with all them crows right there, man.
I know, I don't
It
either.
trips me out.
It is. I saw those too, Jen. I'll be damned.
Do you want to go up to that? Where's that herd? Where the SA and the
Sex offender?
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Here we go, Sasha. We're about to go over to that pig guy's house.
The house where the Crabtree walked up behind. What if they've ever done anything? There's your little building.
Yeah, there's the building that Michael Baird used to own. I wonder if they ever searched it.
I mean, gosh, if they did
There is a dump down there too, like where you can throw in trash.
Oh.
Yep.
I think I remember Carrie Lynn.
Huh?
Well, I thought she got off on the side of the road over there and started looking one night. But I don't know if that's exactly the spot, but it looks a lot like it. And this is all rural over here. I mean, well, you know, kind of, sort of. I mean, the houses are.
I think I'll take another left somewhere. So this is right here, yeah. So it's right here. This is Hurt Road.
Did you guys see how fast that was? It's like a 3 or 4 minute drive, if that. I mean, we were in the neighborhood. The clock is 11:44 a.m. and we're already coming up upon this, pig house.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
This house is vacant.
Oh. Okay. And it's been vacant for a while?
Yeah.
Do you know about Honeysuckle Road? Because people was talking about Honeysuckle Road a lot. Actually, Terry Lynn and Crabtree both were talking about it.
We've been on Honeysuckle.
Yeah.
We've searched Honeysuckle. So,
okay.
I mean, it's really not.
It's not like, no.
So,
I'm going to have to look back through my camera roll, but that day, I mean.
So. Okay, yeah. All right, so this is. This right here is a logging. You can go up there. It's private up there. It's a logging place.
Okay.
Okay, people live right here to the right. They live right there. Oh, damn, babe. It's gone. The house is gone.
It is. They took it down.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
This is where it used to be a house. Can I go over that?
Yeah. Clear.
You sure?
Yeah.
There was a house here.
To the left, right?
Yeah.
Really?
This
Right
was a
here?
house.
It was half burnt out.
Okay, so here's the sex offender right here. Do you see the pig?
Oh my God, yes, that's the one Carrie Lynn was talking about, son of a bitch.
So Stephen and I walked up through there because he sent his drone up right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's
ponds
he saw
back
a pond back there. And he's like, I see something else. So
And really quick, I will just rewind that a little bit. But, you know, Terry Lynn had showed that pig before, for any of you that followed her, right? Um, you know, yeah, here, piggy, pig, pig, pig. Yeah, from the American Horror Story. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this guy's a sex offender and he has a pig. You know, not a great combination. And again, you know, they tore down a house that was there before that isn't here now.
The house is
So
gone.
it is. They took it down.
oh shit.
This is where it used to be a house. Can I go over that?
Yeah. Could.
You sure? There was a house here.
To the left, right?
Yeah.
Really?
This
Right
this was a
here?
house.
It was half burnt out.
Okay, so here's this sex offender right here. You see the pig?
Oh my god, yes, that's the one Terry Lynn was talking about, son of a bitch.
So
Oh
Stephen and I
my
walked up
God.
through there because he sent his drone up right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's he
ponds
saw a
back there.
pond back there. And he's like, I see something else. So we walked back there and it ended up being this wall of like tree carcass stumps that had been pushed off the cliff, about 30-foot tall wall of tree
Damn.
carcasses. And then there's a small pond up there, and it's probably maybe 35 by 35 around.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't know. I threw a rock in there, so maybe it's, I don't know, 4 or 5 foot deep.
But yeah, this is where the sex offender
Wow.
goes. This is where the dark moon is. But during the
Let me
missing
get out and move
event,
that thing.
the moon and the dark moon is going here.
Right.
What'd you say?
When we get over there, I'll get out and move that.
Oh. So this is a mile from his home.
Right. I mean, that's right
Oh.
there.
Huh?
It's just right here, you know, everything's right here.
Yeah, this is where I asked Heather to check first.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, it's nice and quiet back
She
here.
talked to him. She talked to the guy. He's been cleared by the police.
He has been, yeah.
Supposedly.
I saw that body moving. Yeah, I agree with you, Canine Jules, especially after Travis the chimp in Connecticut, you know? It's like, no, thank you. Map, too. It's like it goes from residential, you know, new builds, all that, to just, you know, rural older houses real quick, right? So, and lots of forest and trees. You know, and it makes me think whenever Chris talks about private property, don't go on private property. It's like, did you put him on private property? Shit. Not even Chris if he wasn't in town. I mean, look at all that up there.
Well, the buzzards would have let people know. I mean, it's not like you can
True.
just throw a body up there.
True, exactly. Well, that's how little Jaden was found, because they put him in a shallow
Look
grave.
at how many carcasses there were at the substation we pulled over.
There were so many. I couldn't believe that. I really.
I think we definitely could have teamed with
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
spend the day lion searching.
Yeah, like a big grid or something, you know? Like, yeah, I mean. And all the houses are backed up.
So all the clear leads to be easier to see.
Yeah.
But the bad thing about that is if we more debris on the ground, covering up potential things. It's already been 2 seasons.
True. That's
So
true.
you need to like rake around, take sticks to poke around.
That's weird. This is Center Point Road and then Center Point Barbecue. Okay, Happy Hollow.
Something back with fabric.
Oh, maybe my phone or my other phone. Oh yeah.
The police search. We went up there and talked to them people, but this area right here has been searched several times.
Okay.
By dogs, law enforcement. They track this creek.
Got the horses on the creek, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they track this creek.
Yeah, because they were thinking that maybe Sebastian went and hid in a shed or something.
Construction entrance to Long Haul Pike.
Mm.
There's dumpsters back here. There's dumpsters, pretty sure. So there's a little, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to drive back there?
No.
Okay.
You ain't gonna get it through the other side.
I'm sure there's a dumpster
back house there. Right there too.
It's a dump trailer.
Oh, okay, dump trailer.
I would say that that's vacant. That's not a.
I would
that's
say,
not actually a house.
Yes.
It's a barn.
Like a little barn. Yeah.
There's a house up there.
Mm-hmm. And Katie was talking about a barn on Nancy Grace, but I don't know which barn she's talking about.
Everywhere.
There's barns all over.
Yeah, there's barns everywhere.
So.
Yeah, we actually searched through a couple of them down off of Ward Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, good. What if he was in there? You know, I mean, gee whiz.
But you can see why. I mean, that backs up. You know, this goes toward their house.
Right.
This is an area that.
Oh, this is down here where the cattle farm is at, isn't it?
Yeah.
And John threw a fit.
Yeah, this is where John threw a fit.
Why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's
like, this area's already been searched.
Lord.
And I said, we didn't know.
And he's like, with anger. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, but you know, it can be overlooked. Something can be overlooked.
And then what's her name? Robin's like, I'm just going to pay him and he can leave.
That's vacant.
Do you think maybe they brought him somewhere, then moved him after the fact? But they've been watching him. They've been just watching him, though, right?
Everybody always says that.
I know.
Everybody always says that about every case. Do you think that they moved him?
Do you think they moved him? But it's so hard to move him, right?
Yeah, it's a pond. Isn't this the road that? Yeah, this is the road. We were on this road. What they were going to do.
I was going to say, I know she went through here.
Oh, yeah.
I know she did. She was doing so good when she just searched, you know? That's the shitty part. I mean.
Well, once you got her out.
Once she finally would get out of that car.
We get somewhere, it'd be 25, 30 minutes before she get out. I'm like, oh, already be
that house back there looked vacant.
Right, exactly.
It seems like it was at this road.
That's why I know she's got to be on, you know, some hardcore shit. Because she. Well,
but this is a road that's talked about a lot. Honeysuckle is on up, and I don't know. It's really not. I think that we're wasting our time looking over here.
Well, Terry Lynn loves to put people on the phone and tell you to mute, and then she'll call somebody. Well, she called Stephen Crabtree the one day, and then he called her back, and we were all on mute. There was like 4 of us, and he didn't know. But they were talking about honeysuckle that day several times.
Yeah.
And we even took pictures as she was driving by. We were screenshotting. That's a cool looking house. But I don't know why he started talking about.
It's right here in
honeysuckle
on the left where we searched. where we pulled in and looked and shit. It's right here. Oh, now they got it blocked off. No, they don't. Damn, people's got chairs and shit up there now.
Yeah.
Ain't that weird?
Hmm.
It's private property. They got a private property sign now. Yeah, there's a pond right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there used to not be chairs and stuff here.
Right.
It used to not say private property, but they've probably done it since there's so many
people just coming through. Well, and sometimes people aren't as respectful, so I understand, you know. I mean, shit. It's just a cute area. People don't want that shit. I mean, it just sucks. It sucks.
Because that's the area that we went to after the construction.
Yeah.
We took the dog, but again, you know, a dog is only as good as its handler, and dude is not a good handler, and I think his dog is very, it needs a lot of more training. That's
right. No, I understand. And, you know, knowing what to look for, you know, if they get down, like Jules was saying. Or
I mean, John's just an asshole. He's just an asshole. He comes from Illinois or Indiana, one of them, to come here. And he's just an asshole.
Where's he from in Illinois?
I don't remember. His dog's name is Malice.
Malice, really?
It's all over the place. That Malice, yeah, it's just all over the place. It's not, doesn't have a lot of discipline that I saw.
Right. And usually those dogs are very disciplined. I mean,
and he's like trying to keep up. I mean, it's just like, whoa.
What kind of dog does he have? Like a Belgian Malinois?
But he did. Malice did lay down at that pond on Ward Lane. He just laid there.
See, and that's a change of behavior, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
Like Jules was saying, I mean.
They even took him back around it to see if he hit again.
Oh, yeah. Really? Did he hit again?
I mean, he was just laying there.
He just laid there again, huh? Yeah. There's water through there. Little creek.
See, that house looks like it's vacant.
It sure does. That one looks vacant too. Yeah. Sebastian, where could you be, bud? I just don't see him getting far without shoes still, Jen. I mean, his feet would be torn up.
Yeah,
he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, she put him somewhere, man. She's got to be.
I mean, and it's like, yeah, you know, you don't want to accuse people, but damn.
Left without shoes, I mean, damn, the dogs are going to hit on him. They're going to follow him.
I mean, it's just. And if he took the trash out, they would have followed his scent over there at the very least, but they didn't hit on nothing around the house as far as I heard. Okay, guys, so just really quick, I wanted to kind of pop in with this area, right? I didn't feel anything weird. Like the pig man, yeah, I was like, holy cow, that's the same pig that, you know, Terry Lynn had showed and everything. She put like, I don't know, I guess underwear on it. It was weird. But I was like, holy crap, there it is, right? And so there was a lot of areas that were searched, and then they had problems with people you know, wanting to go back and search them. And the people were like, these were already searched. So it was a lot different. Hey, Kylie, Snail Candy, good to see you. It was a lot different back then, you know, and I loved having Jen and Jeff, you know, to point out the differences, like, hey, this was there, but this wasn't there before, and that sort of thing. So I it's been bothering me, Liberty, especially because we were talking about all of this stuff in October, and then in December, all of these people came out of the woodwork, right? John and Malice, the dog. It's just too weird.
right? It's just too coincidental. And of course, coincidences can be a coincidence, but sometimes they're not. So, and again, Seth had voiced concern about people saying here, I'm here to search on behalf of Sebastian and his father and things like that. And then, if they ever went back to those areas, people were like, oh, it was already searched. And they said it was, and Seth's like, hey, that wasn't me, type of a thing. So there was a lot of that going on as well. And it's still kind of going on, so I mean,
See, there's a bridge under here.
right.
This is a bridge, the creek.
Yeah, I remember TL coming over here for sure.
So the water's not going to go this way. The storm drain, that water's not going to go this way.
Oh, right. Go the opposite.
Yeah, when you pulled up to that gate, it would go downhill that way towards the creek that way.
Yeah. So this building right here, Michael Laird, the neighbor across the street that caught him walking the trash down, he used to own that building. I don't know if he still does or not, but he used to own it. So I'm hoping that they did check that building.
Right.
Right.
Okay, I'm hoping that they check that building too. I think that's a very important piece to remember. Also, guys, now we're going back past Sebastian's house, right? That was on the other side. She was pointing out, Jen was, to the left, right? But now we're heading back down Long Hollow Pike, right? We're going to see all of the same things, the barn, the fire station, etc. Now, this is Sasha where we're headed to Worsham's and to the storage. And it's 12:01, guys. We did this whole trip in about what, 30 minutes? Yeah, just to make sure.
Just to make sure. There used to be a house there. Terry Lynn searched that area. But that house is torn down now. Yeah, a lot of shit's changed.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage right now, huh? Because I mean, everything is different than it was.
It really is. It's different. I mean, you wouldn't think that, in 19 months it would change that much, but it has.
Well, and especially because they're building it all up. And I mean, it is just a cute area. It's such a nice area.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And they took his sign down, I guess, because they did have Sebastian right there. Yeah.
The last time I was over here, we were all over here. The sign got hit by the mowing crew.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay, so this creek right here, this bridge, that's where the water, the storm water would start. And it goes that way, right? Or it goes that way.
It goes that way.
It goes that way. Yeah, it's going to go that way. And the river and the lake is going to go that, so we would need to park somewhere, get in the creek here underneath the thing and go.
Bridge thing, right?
Yeah.
Need to have multiple people.
And Kylie, we're about to get into Worsham's, and behind Worsham's, there was a drought before it started raining that Sunday. They had a drought in the area, and so there wasn't any rain. And as we're going to see behind Worsham's, had there been healthy rain sporadically, it would be kind of like a river, right? That was that in the back of Worsham. So I think it's not far-fetched to believe that there's evidence that could have been hidden back there or things of that nature. I think it's an important place to look, especially since people were finding things, near the area, like the mattress pad allegedly was found over by there too. So
I mean, it's just right off the road, huh?
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you want to go there.
I wanted to go back behind Warsham's real quick too. Oh, but look, there's cameras.
Yeah,
right there.
They've got cameras. Yeah, feel free. We've walked around. We've done that. We've done it, dude.
All right, I'll be right
Do your thing, girl.
Thank you. I just want to get a good idea for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Kitty kitties. Hi, pretty kitties. Oh, there's lots of this.
Yeah, they have like a million cats that live by Warsham's, just so everybody knows. Like a bunch of cats. All right, guys, as you can see, there's a bunch of water back there. A bunch of water. And I'll continue to show, but it's just, if there had been more rain, it would have been up. No, Sasha, they did not test the mattress pad for forensics. They did not take the mattress pad. Erin is the one that found the mattress pad, and they still have it. So she still has that mattress pad. So Ellie did not check that. Okay, Sasha. So are you talking about this house across from Worsham's right here? This one right here? Because that's the one that's directly across. I mean, there's houses sporadically around Worsham's, but um, none of them are directly across like this one. So I'm guessing that's the one that you're talking about. Yes, Cece. The person who has been helping Mob Crew and Silvers, Erin, she has the mattress pad still to this day. She still has that mattress pad. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
This is all wooded back here. All where you could get access over here to the water. Picker bushes, lots of picker bushes. Definitely couldn't get down here barefoot. Some beautiful ducks. And this ground is very unstable here. I mean, you're sinking in. Go straight down.
not going to be here. Storm drain system is going to be where I just showed you at that intersection.
Back
Going
that
and then
way.
going that way. Yes.
Because it's flowing pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
wanna show
I got
you
a little
Ward
bit of
Lane.
it.
Yeah, I want to show you Ward Lane, and then we're going to go eat it.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
Here's the storage units.
Okay, right. And this is where the mattress pad was found. Okay, Sasha, so I'm not sure if there's a house directly across from, because you kept saying Worsham's, and I knew I had the houses across from Worsham's, but I obviously don't have the footage of the houses across from the storage units, because it wasn't really a point of interest for me in terms of Sebastian's case, really. So I'm not sure. But anything on the same side of the road, I'm pretty sure I'm just focused on that. And also I was very focused on the body of water, right? I mean, that it goes all the way down. So this is where Jen takes me by Ward Lane.
Almost looked like that this was used as some type of construction something. I don't know.
Right.
So this is Ward Lane. So you can get to Ward Lane from the school.
Right.
You can go up there. Right?
Right.
Well, this is where we took Malice. This is where we took the dog.
This has been cut back.
Yeah, all of it's been cut back. It was grown up, girl.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was grown up when he went missing. All of this was. All of this was. And
Even in February.
Yeah, even all of this was. And you could only see a little bitty, all you could see was a little bitty
oh, there's the gate. There's
all
the
you could
coming down there.
all you could see was just a little it was this right here was dirt. It was a dirt road. They just
paved that.
And you could barely see
Somebody
it because
else
it was
is over
grown
there
up.
coming down.
Yeah, but they can't come down. It's gated.
They're over there looking too.
Yeah, so all of this. Yeah, let's see if they can make it past that gate.
Okay, guys, so you know how we were over at the cemetery before this? We could see now again that we are over at the cemetery on the other side of it, right? So this is where the cemetery meets on the other side. There's no way that any trucks or anybody could get through any of this over here, especially because it was overgrown and full of debris and a dirt road at that time, just so everybody knows that. Also, Michael Laird is someone that Jen mentioned earlier in the video, Chuchi, and she was talking about how Michael Laird is the one that has the footage from the camera, a Ring camera across the street from Sebastian's home. So he would have had that exact, and Jen was there. Thank you, Liberty. Jen was there. And so he also owned another building, but you'll have to rewind, to get to that part when she mentions it and shows us where it was. And I agree. I think that Michael Laird does need to be checked into, especially when they're pushing a narrative about Sebastian being caught on camera and things of that nature, when we know that he had that footage and he had to ask law enforcement himself, to make out that footage, in my opinion. But again, this is the area leading into the cemetery, the road, right, from the other road on the other side of the street. So you can see that.
But see, it says posted, no trespassing, no dumping private property, because this is all owned by the church.
This is the church land. Okay.
This is all owned by that church with the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah, that woman's unlocking it.
Oh, so she's got a key, or
so she must be a part of the church, right? So this is where me and we parked here.
Mm-hmm.
And because see, there's a creek. Remember I was telling you there's a creek, so you can't just, you can't get from here up there. You can't. There's no road.
There's not a road, right?
No.
And it's all closed off.
But we did
Even
search.
when it wasn't.
We did search all up through there, all the way. We walked it all the way up. But see, it looks like there's a bunch of woods, but there's not.
Right.
It's just that path right there.
It's just like, just overgrown, but.
And it was this man that told us that.
I talked to this guy, and he was like, "This place has been searched over and over. I really don't want it searched no more."
Oh, okay. There he is.
Yeah, he didn't want
But
nobody.
I did. I walked the creek
no
all
money,
the way
no.
back through there,
and the dog we had, Malice was over here. Jeff was out back here walking.
Me and Sarah walked the creek all the way back.
Yeah, we searched this road. Yeah. And it was
the pond is.
Okay, guys, and I just want to, again, recognize the name Malice. Again, this was the same dog. John, his handler, came out to the cemetery most recently when they were doing the GPR and all of that. So most recently, they called the same dog handler and his dog to come out and, again, search for Sebastian.
Yeah, the pond is right.
And also, this is
right
the
here?
area, again,
Where
and I'll rewind it, but this area was also searched by that same handler, the same dog, right? Just so everybody knows.
All you could see was just a little, it was this right here was dirt. It was a dirt road. They've just
paved that.
And you could barely see
Somebody
it because
else
it was
is over
grown
there
up.
coming down.
Yeah, but they can't come down. It's gated.
They're over there looking too.
Yeah, so all of this. Yeah, let's see if they can make it past that gate.
But
see, it says posted, no trespassing, no dumping private property, because this is all owned by the church.
This is the church land. Okay.
This is all owned by that church with the cemetery.
It's got a cable lock on it.
Yeah, that woman's unlocking it.
Oh, so she's got a key here.
So she must be a part of the church, right? So this is where me and we parked here. And because see, there's a creek. Remember I was telling you there's a creek. So you can't just, you can't get from here up there. You can't. There's no road.
There's not a road, right?
No.
And it's all closed off.
But we did
Even
search.
when it wasn't.
We did search all up through there, all the way. We walked it all the way up. But see, it looks like there's a bunch of woods, but there's not.
Right.
It's just that path right there.
It's just like, just overgrown, but.
And it was this man that told us that.
I talked to this guy, and he was like, "This place has been searched over and over. I really don't want it searched no more."
Oh, okay. There he is.
Yeah, he didn't want
But
nobody.
I did. I walked the creek
no
all
money,
the
no.
way back through there.
And the dog we had, Malice was over here. Jeff was out back here walking.
Me and Sarah walked the creek all the way back.
Yeah, we searched this road. Yeah. And it was.
The pond is over here.
Yeah, the pond is right. Is it right here? Where those trees are? Damn, everything looks different, dude. It just looks different to me.
Yeah, we parked up here.
Okay.
We parked right here.
Okay.
And then John. Yep,
There it
there's
is.
the pond.
Oh,
John
wow.
walked back
That
to
is
where the gate was.
Mossy pond.
Yeah, and the
Holy
dog.
shit.
I don't remember this being
All
gated.
these gates are closed now.
Okay, so it used to be more open.
How did John get over there?
There's a gate back there. Honey.
Oh,
Remember
was it
we all
closed?
parked here, and you walked back there, and the gate was open, but now it's closed.
But yeah, he walked around that pond. The dog did, and then he just laid. He just laid right there. Wow. So I'd like to know if.
And this wasn't the one they drained. One of the ones, because I know they drained a couple of them.
Not that I know of. And when we came out here, it was. It was. I don't remember it looking like that, but.
That gate was open because we walked up there. And
Yeah.
walked to there.
Well, hey, Moo Moo. Moo Moo.
It's a pretty cow.
Cutie pies. Hi.
Just what are y'all doing back here?
Babies.
I thought they told you not to search back here.
Right?
The cows just looking.
But this
And
is,
one of your lines went through this curve here.
yeah, it was the curve that I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And
Right
it's
back through there.
back through there.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, this is Ward Lane.
It's a blue jay.
And there's a creek. It's a creek right there here. Seth was in so much pain. He was in
Oh, that was
so
before his
much
surgery
pain,
stuff.
girl.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I remember watching a video where he was just hollering because his shoulder was hurting him so bad.
Yeah, but there's, like I said, there's a creek.
It gets pretty deep right here. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got out and walked around that road.
Right.
Yeah, right here is where we stopped. And Jeff got down in there.
Yeah, straight ahead, it gets really deep. Kind of ends right there. Like in a flooding situation, it'll be a turbulent spot where everything builds
Right.
up.
Yeah, in a flooding
Right.
situation. Yeah. But
Right.
you know, yeah, like right there, you see where the trees have it's gotten flooded, and the
Mhm.
trees it's taken the trees.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it took him down, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just pull him up by the roots.
Yeah. And then Seth didn't he talk to the man back here?
Oh man, yeah.
Forever. Like,
I know so many people care, you know.
they do.
And they also don't
And
want
so
to
many
be
people
bothered.
know.
You
Yeah,
know,
so
and
many
I get
people
that.
know.
I
Like
get
they
that.
know that Sebastian is missing.
Right.
People out here know.
Yeah.
But these people, their properties have been searched
Yes.
several times.
The old man was back there in that barn all the way out back.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
he wanted to talk to Seth.
Yeah.
They're pretty horses.
Yeah.
Beauty right there.
Yeah, but Sasha, I don't believe that he is on foot. I do not believe that he is on foot. Sebastian, no. Guys, he would never be able to make it through these woods on foot. Never, 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 ever could he ever. And if you guys think that he can, I want you to try to walk barefoot in the middle of the night from Chris and Katie's in any direction, and you tell me how far you'll get before you call for someone to come pick you up. There's no way that this child went barefoot. Even Sheriff Craddock says, I'm not going to say he's barefoot because he knows damn well he's lived in that area probably his whole life. There is no way that Sebastian is out there on foot barefoot. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, Sasha. But I'm like, it's absolutely absurd to think that he's out there on foot. No way, because he wouldn't make it far, right? Like, even if, say, he was like running away from danger, he would have to stop somewhere, right? And especially you think about bare feet and footprints, there would have absolutely been a scent for him, right? A scent of him. And there wasn't at all, there wasn't at all. So Jilly, I mean, I know that he was not out there barefoot. If he was, we would have found him, he would have been maybe taking a break somewhere, resting his poor little feet, because it would be his poor feet, yeah, Mark, I just don't think that he left out by himself, and there would have been, he would have been on camera, and all of these places, guys, have cameras, towards the road because that's where they're situated, right? They're even Warsham's all over the building is cameras and cats, but mostly cameras.
Oh boy. It's overwhelming when you look at how much woods. It really is. It is, because
And it's so easy for people to say, well, you should be out there searching. Okay.
Oh, fuck. I was trying to be careful I didn't fall in the damn pond behind it or the river.
I'll tell you what's easy to think of is that there's no way Sebastian would have gone out in these woods and walked barefoot.
No, in the middle of the night.
Never.
In the middle of the night. There's no way he did that. There's just no way he did that.
I mean, I couldn't even walk near anything in the woods without getting picker
My
bush.
jaw would drop if they said, oh yeah, he walked. And no.
I mean, if he was on camera somewhere, I'd have believed it, you know, because I would have thought maybe he's got a higher pain threshold. I know some kids on the spectrum do, you know, or if he was scared and he had to get the hell out of there before Katie heard him.
That's the only thing I would think of is if he's scared and fear of life.
Yeah, adrenaline moving, you know,
and these are all tourist lines. These are all.
But going through their neighborhood, it's not like you could. I mean, I don't think he could be undetected in their neighborhood.
No, and he's not going to be. She's not going to. I don't think that she's going to have him in the car and drive around back here and do anything.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and it's possible, but I mean that's a bluff, you know?
Right.
I think the next street up to the left where we talked to that guy and he let us walk his property to the cliff up next to that road. That's where I found that floor mat.
Oh yeah.
Rain boots.
Yeah. We went. We searched with her.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. So this is where we're heading over to the Texas Roadhouse. And, you know, I probably won't play this part because I do need to hop off so I can prepare for tonight's show. I just wanted to make up for last night because I wasn't on. And so I think that Katie is a lying sack of shit, Sasha, when she talks about how Sebastian lacks awareness, because he does not lack awareness. As a matter of fact, he is so aware that he came up on the table after using the bathroom at the Texas Roadhouse, and he noticed that his mother was looking in, you know, towards the bar area in that direction. Now there is a big TV over there, so maybe Katie was watching TV, or she turned her head to watch something on the TV. That's very possible. But he looked over in that direction as well. Sebastian is absolutely aware and has awareness. Who lacks self-awareness is Mr. Foote and the rest of the idiots that, you know, are around them, helping them, you know, push their narrative, you know? So, and I just absolutely do not believe that he walked out by himself, you know? That's true, Lisa. Sunny said Sebastian was seen entering the house and never seen again. Allegedly, in my opinion. And I believe that that was said. You know, I heard it too. And, you know, they subsequently said that there's no evidence that Sebastian ever left the house. So that's a major issue, you know, and it doesn't make sense. So hold on. Okay, sorry about that.
So we mapped the Texas Roadhouse, and that way we can see how she would another way if she didn't come the way that we came.
Right.
See if it takes us the same way on Sub 30.
Indian Lake Boulevard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
11 minutes.
Okay, so it's 11 minutes.
What the fuck? Everybody was telling me it was like
Between 10 and 15 minutes.
How many miles, babe?
4.5 from here.
That's nothing. So this would be about the same distance from Katie's house, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you turn on stop 30.
There it is, y'all. I mean, that's the area. That's the place that needs to be searched. That's it, hands down.
I agree.
It needs to be searched.
Yeah. Just to rule everything out. I mean, where else are we gonna, what has it been looked at? I know that
Okay, there we go, Sasha. Now we have another view. I forgot about this part. So, it does appear that there's no house across the street from the storage units. There's no home over here, honey. Just so you know. And then also I wanted to go to Diana's comment. If he wasn't seen going into the house or coming out, he didn't make it back from Texas Roadhouse. He was transferred when they left the Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion. I believe that could be a very strong possibility, Diana. I really do, because of a couple reasons. And we might as well just go ahead and get into this really quick. So, when we listen to the neighbor talk about how, let me go ahead and make myself a little, when we listen to the neighbor and she talked about how Sebastian was caught on her camera, right? And this is the neighbor across the street, was caught on her camera. And Friday after school, he went to the front door, right? At 3:00, he got off of the school bus. She could see him going to the front door, all of that. Saturday, Katie and Sebastian went somewhere. We believe it's probably Costco because that's where they said they went. So they went to Costco, they come back, and Katie stops by the garage. Sebastian gets out and said Sebastian doesn't like the noise of the garage. And so he was going to go up and he skipped up to the front door. He was not able to get in the front door. So he skips back to where Katie is, right in the garage. She's at that time pulled into the garage, and Sebastian goes in through the man door, as Katie would call it, through the garage and into the house. On Sunday, Katie was said to have just gone straight into the garage. She just pulled straight in there. Sebastian never got out of the car. Now, riddle me this. If Sebastian's chore is to take the trash can to the end of the driveway, he does not like the noise from the garage. Why wouldn't Sebastian get out of the vehicle Sunday, out of Katie's car after the Texas Roadhouse, and walk the can to the end of the driveway so he doesn't have to hear the noise and then go in the garage? That doesn't happen. And if he is able to get over his sensory issues in one night, that's a major problem for me, because I don't believe that at all. I don't believe you just get over something like that in one night. So the fact that Katie pulled directly into the garage without Sebastian getting out first tells me that Sebastian wasn't in the vehicle. Either that, or she made him go through something that he didn't want to go through and, gave him, a fright. So either way, it's odd to me, right? It's odd to me that Sebastian couldn't get into the house on Saturday. He couldn't use the front door. He went and he had to go in through the garage. Just something to think about, and we'll talk more about it later on tonight. It was said that Kay drove into the garage, but no sight of Sebastian. Then he must not have made it back from the Texas Roadhouse. Right, exactly. And also, again, like I said, if it's typical for him to get out of the vehicle before they pull into the garage, then that should have happened on Sunday night as well. Also, the neighbors had to ask, those same neighbors had to ask law enforcement whether it was really Sebastian taking the trash out or not, and they said yes. Right? So here's some links I wanted to post for you guys. One is if you want to print out flyers and put them around, or send them digitally. You can do that with that link that I just put for the FBI, right? Also, if you would like to buy a t-shirt for or a hoodie or a flag, and they also have like a water bottle, a windbreaker, to be a walking billboard for Sebastian, that's how you do that. And then also, if you would like to help Seth out with the Gathering of Voices, definitely do that. And thank you so much, Chuchi, for posting my memberships. If you guys want to become a member, hey, Brenda Wiley, good to see you. If you guys want to become a member so you can be involved in the trivia on the 31st, please do that. And it's going to be fun. You guys will get something special from the trip. Of course, it's not going to be mailed out to you yet because I haven't taken the trip, right? And so, just please be patient with that process as well. But it will be announced next month to help me with this trip, guys, because it is going to cost me more because of the rental car place not being open on Sunday. I am going to need, extra help there. So if you guys do want to help out, you can help out with my Cash App, my Venmo, and those are the two ways that you can help out if you don't help out before the month's over, right? Because I will get paid for my efforts this month on next month when I'm ready to take the trip. So, and I've already saved back enough for the deposit, so that's taken care of. But again, it would really help out if you guys could help out. So I would love to talk more, but we've been on here for a while. I want to get ready for tonight's show. Um, yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd, guys. It's absolutely weird. So we're gonna talk more about that. I just kind of wanted to plant some seeds on what we're gonna go over tonight in the live. And I'll if I don't get the video up, what I'll do is I'll crop those pictures in of Texana and we can examine, or do maybe a side by side of the green hoodie person. So all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you all being here. No, and Seth also said he can't make it out. Oh, and also proof of life. When Seth asked for proof of life, he was shown the Texas Roadhouse video. He was not shown Sebastian taking the trash to the end of the driveway. It's really something to consider, So, hey, Reptile Wildfire. Thank you guys so much. Nani says I always thought that was odd too. Makes me wonder when the code was changed since that's how he would get in from school. I think it was changed because Friday he was able to get in. Right. Because 3 o'clock, Katie wasn't home yet. So it's alleged by the neighbor. And we'll listen to that again later too. Just to refresh, because I'd like to discuss this further. It's just I need it to be, quiet where, there's not a lot of stuff going on in the background for those of you who wear the head or earphones or headbuds. Earbuds, headphones, earbuds. There we go. Yeah, there's no house across from okay, so it's across from Worsham's for sure. Yeah, so it's that house. Yeah, and like I said to everyone, they could always use my, footage, or if you need a frame of reference or something. Um, you know, and that could be too, Reptile Wildfire. That's a good point. Maybe he was over medicated and that's why he was fine with going into the garage without getting out. That's very true. I just don't know what kind of medications he could have been given, like from the Roadhouse on, because he looked like he was, walking fine and talking fine at the Roadhouse. So I mean, she just wouldn't have time to give him too much medicine unless I just don't see with the time limit how that would be possible. But again, I don't know, so I'm kind of, up to talk about it, so. All right, guys. Well, I love you all very, very much, and I will see you guys all later on. Thank you so much.